I did it first.
And there we go. Just a nice, easy listening cold open here.
Welcome back to the nice and easy UnPop podcast.
Sponsored by NPR.
Sponsored by RPN, the
RPN,
reverse of NPR.
Talk to you very quietly.
We do it like
Radio
this.
Public Network.
Practicing for smooth jazz.
We're going to be talking about some pie recipes. It's fall and pie's in the air. And we've got smooth jazz and pie.
Put your egg straight in the oven
with
with some basil and some parsley. Don't even put it in a pie crust. Let it drip.
Oh,
Eat it off
you used too much sugar.
Ah.
You fucked it up.
What kind of pie are you going for this time of year?
Oh, dude, blueberry apple.
Blueberry and apple, like combined?
Yeah, blueberry apple pie.
Get that monstrosity out of here. Just blueberry.
No, my mom makes it for all of her boys.
My mom.
All of the boys get blueberry apple pie.
Apple pie sucks.
It's
apple
delicious.
and pie is awful. It's atrocious. It's not an American staple. Get that out of here.
Hey, Odie.
Apple pie sucks.
Sincerely, from the majority of the Northeast of New York.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off, buddy.
No, I won't. Blueberry pie does not need apples in it. Blueberry pie is top tier pie.
Apple
Anyways.
pie is fucking delicious.
It's
Blueberry
fucking
apple
awful.
pie is even better.
Apple pie is gross.
You're a psychopath.
No,
this
I'm not.
morning.
I'm normal.
What is wrong with you today?
Nothing. I just don't like apple I don't like apple fritters. I don't like apple pie. I don't like apple.
Well, you know what?
I like
Agree to
apple
disagree,
juice.
buddy.
Apple juice is pretty good.
Apple juice is delicious.
Yeah, but apple pie
it's got,
sucks.
Here's the thing. I know it's wasteful, but I have to drink it out of a juice box. I
Oh.
love the apple juice in a
Yeah,
juice
you got to have your
box.
juice box with your
It's-
mom making you pies.
I don't like where this is going.
I do. Only
I don't.
38-year-olds watch One Piece. Yeah, this is great.
One Piece is amazing, and that is a badge of honor. And I will watch it and drink apple juice and eat apple pie with blueberries in it.
That your
and
mom made.
my brothers will too, and we will
Yeah.
love it.
You guys all share the same
And
blanket.
and then you know what?
What?
We're gonna hug our mom.
Must be nice, Kevin. Must be nice to have a mom that you can hug. My mom's not dead. She just sucks. But anyways, just want to say she's not dead, but she's dead
I
to
think
me.
we've gotten to the root of why you don't like apple pie here. It's a
Yeah,
mom thing.
that's why.
We've Sigmund Freuded our way through this intro to the podcast.
that makes you feel better. Sure, blame it on my mom.
Absolutely, it's delicious. Let's go.
It's been.
Are you ready to clap?
Oh yeah.
Let's just clap.
Let's just clap.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of the UnPop podcast. I'm your Capitan Total LC Emperor, Kevin Minor. Him with me as always is.
I apologize for the loudness of my co-host as we dip back into our NPR voices. This is
Oh,
Odie
sorry.
Matthews in the kitchen.
Odie Matthews.
Delivering you up some wonderful pies that don't have apples in them because they belong in the trash.
Odie, could you please, when you're back talking,
Yes,
when
Kevin.
you're bad mouthing apple pie, could you please light a cedar candle? I'd like to.
I have
create good
rainwater
ambiance in the
lily.
studio space.
Does that count?
Rainwater lily sounds wonderful.
It honestly is. I use it when I edit videos. It has like the crackle wick. It's pretty nice. I put on Snoopy Jazz and have my rainwater little candy. It's great.
We're both giant children. that's
What do
what
you
this
mean?
is. You with your Snoopy Jazz, me with my juice boxes.
I like Snoopy.
Here we are. Of course you do.
Yeah.
You giant child.
No.
Let's get into the news.
Wait, actually, Kevin, before we get into the news,
Yes.
Okay, so recently I've been having what I would call some very interesting interactions, if you will, at my job on Saturdays when I'm out talking to the public.
Yeah, you've been telling me about those. We had skateboard guy.
Yeah, double
Right.
skateboard guy. Who
We've had other weird stories too, and not on the podcast. And then yesterday you said there were a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know what it was yesterday, but you know that time of the year where like, because daylight savings time just happened, boo, and like
literally just happened.
It literally just happened,
like
and I hate
hours
that,
ago.
Because now it gets dark early, and I hate that.
Yeah, it fucks with your circadian rhythm.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm so tired. But like, there's that time of the year where you can just feel like the air, like it starts to go from like 50s or 60s, and then like it dips down to like the 30s that one day, and then everybody
That was
like,
this week.
Yeah, and like everything just feels like out of whack, out of sync, and like people like it's like a full moon, right? Like it's like people just go crazy.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, it was pretty cold. It wasn't very busy. And I started to have some weird interactions. And after like the second or third one, I was like, I got to write these down. Like this, I got to write. I can't forget about these. So I just wanted
Were you initiating these weird interactions? Like, were you inviting them, or were people just coming up to you and like?
Yeah. So
like,
I had my table, like a table set up with like our banner with like our company name, and then I have all my handouts. I hand out pins. I hand out tote bags for grocery shopping that are really nice. They're organic. I hand out magnets that are also chip clips. I have like our brochures, and then this weekend I went out and got some thermoses, like coffee thermoses, and I had a bunch of hot cocoa that I was handing out to kids and stuff so they can make their own hot cocoa.
This is all very Colorado coded.
Thank you. Thank you. I was wearing my Eddie Brower, so like my limb shoes.
Did you say Eddie Brower?
Is
that knockoff Eddie Bauer?
No, Eddie Bowser.
Eddie Brower, we've only got half a lifetime.
Whatever,
guarantee.
I can't say words right.
You get 50 years, bro.
I was dressed like a true Coloradian, and which I am not.
Coloradian.
Or whatever they're called out here.
I don't know. I'm going with you on it. You're the expert. You live there.
I lived there, and I lived here when I was a kid, and I should know these things, but I don't. So here's my interactions.
Okay.
So one lady walked up to me.
Oh wait, hold on. I'll put in a little jingle here.
Oh yeah, put in a little jingle.
Police got a job, and they're working with the public. And these are weird interactions that they have with the public.
Okay. All right. All right.
So one lady walked.
Why do you do a bird caw
What
at
do
the
you-
end of every jingle?
I didn't hear it. What are you talking about?
All right, whatever.
So Kevin looks so disappointed. All right, so
Go.
I'm going. Don't rush me. All right, so one lady walked up to me with the most sincere, like, tone, voice, not joking or anything, and she goes, "Are you being punished?" That's what she asked me. She was like, "Are you being punished?" Because it was like 35 degrees out and like everybody was like freezing, and she was like, "Are you being punished?"
She was trying to make a joke. Okay, yeah.
But no, because when she came. Okay, so there's more to this. This is part 2. She goes in, she comes out, and she goes, "Honey, are you okay? Can I get you something to warm you up?" She legit thought I was out there like
cold.
being punished. It wasn't cold, Kevin. It was like 35 degrees. That's not cold.
Probably was to her. Anyway, all right.
Another guy walked up, a younger kid, probably looked like he was in college age. He comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, man, can I just take like all your hot chocolate since you're giving it out for free? If you're giving it for free, you should give it all to me."
Wait, how old was he?
College age, for sure. He was being a douchebag.
That's a classic college moment. Okay,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I obviously told him no.
Yeah.
Obviously. I was pretty proud of myself. I said, "Yeah, sure. If you sign up for our Mesa membership," bleep out the name of this company, please. If you sign up for our membership, I'll give you all the hot chocolate for free. What's your home address for your home that you own? And he goes, "I don't own a home." And I go, "Sorry, man, I can't give you the hot chocolate for free then. I can give you one for free." And I did.
I would have just used the Kyle Kinane line. This is my favorite line. "I get it. You're 22. You're supposed to be an asshole." Like that's. I've always loved that line, and I feel like if I went back in time and saw myself, I would say it. So yeah. I would have said that.
I'm going to have to remember that.
I get it. You're 22.
I'm
You're
also
supposed to be an
representing a
asshole.
company, though, so it's like I got to be a little.
You can't call him an asshole.
I want to. I want to call a lot of people assholes. So right in front
None of these seem like weird yet. None of these seem out of place. Like you got like the overly concerned lady. That's common. That exists like just in society. You're just having normal society reactions.
Don't worry,
as far as I'm concerned.
It's a list that grows as it.
Okay, we've got a real half pipe of
we're coming
intensity
up to the
increase. Okay,
and I also maybe not weird, just like why are you coming up to people and like why are you saying this? Like you don't, even if it's not weird, like you don't need to.
Because you're in public. That's what happens in public.
So
stop interacting with me in public.
Well, stop interacting with me like this. Come up to me and talk to me like a normal person. This is not normal. Like, it might not be weird,
I
but
don't
it's not
see
normal.
anything that's like too abnormal yet.
So
but
this
keep
guy, where I'm at, there's 4 spots in front of me. One of them's a
Yes.
handicap.
Yeah.
So this guy in a Rivian, like the Rivian SUV,
Yeah.
he pulls up into the spot, and he is directly in between the handicap and the regular spot, like just cutting that
Okay.
line down the middle, right? This dude gets out. He walks around his vehicle a couple times. He comes up
Okay.
to me, asks me a couple normal questions. I tell him what I'm doing. He takes one of my brochures. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I'll call you." This guy's old, like 70s, okay?
Okay. And apparently talks like a surfer dude. Yeah, I'll go.
He goes inside, and
Okay.
time elapses. He comes out. He's got, like, one thing with him, like one item that he bought. He puts it in the passenger seat. He gets in the driver's seat. He backs straight out, and probably, like, 2 car lengths behind the car spot or whatever is like a barrier, like a curb for like another part of the parking lot.
Yeah,
I'll have to send you a picture of this next time I'm there.
Okay.
But he backs straight out, right? Leans his head out the window. This one's not weird. This one's just funny. He leans his head out the window, pulls straight forward again, looks behind him, pulls straight back out again, turns his wheel a little bit, pulls forward like 3 feet, gets out of his vehicle, walks around it to make sure he's not going to hit anything, gets back in, pulls straight forward, and then backs up again, and then finally turns his wheel and pulls out of the spot. This man was baffled. And here's the thing, Kevin. There was no cars around him.
What kind of vehicle does this man drive?
It was a Rivian. It was a Rivian SUV.
How people who are buying those that obviously don't have the spatial awareness needed to buy those need to fucking stop.
Yeah.
Because I see that shit. That's very normal. I see that all the time. I see people with dumbass, big-ass trucks or SUVs with fucking nothing in the back.
Nope.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just, like, having trouble with space. Like,
Dude, I know that those Rivians, not only do they have a backup camera, but they have the parking sensors.
yeah.
So, like, the fact that this man got out of his car and walked around, and keep in mind, he doesn't move
maybe
very
he's got
fast.
a broken parking sensor. Maybe it was just going off the whole time.
Kevin, the parking lot was, like, empty. Empty.
Yeah, broken parking sensor. Yeah, it was just going off the whole time.
Another guy
keep going.
came up to me.
Keep going. None of this is this is not too weird yet. None of this is blowing my mind. I'm waiting.
I don't think
Yeah.
they're going to blow your mind necessarily, but these are just interactions that I thought were either funny or just were like, why are you coming up and wasting my time? Because the next guy comes up to me, and keep in mind, Kevin, I make it pretty clear, like, I am there to talk about the things that my company does. I'm not really there to have a casual conversation with somebody for 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, your company, beep.
But also, I'm not rude or mean enough that if somebody engages in a conversation that they want to talk about, I don't know how to get out of it. You know, like, it's hard for me because I want to be nice. I want to be respectful because I'm representing my company and so forth.
Yeah.
This guy came up to me and tells me that he's an electrical engineer. And I was like, oh,
Great.
that's really cool. We're not
love
electricians, but, you know, like, if you're looking for an electrician, I can recommend one. He goes, no.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you a story. Kevin, this man.
How old was this man?
Oh, 60s easily.
Not abnormal. Okay, but keep going.
Not abnormal. I'm just saying.
Yep.
This man proceeded to tell me the story about how in the 80s there was a race between him and 2 other people that he was talking about like I should know who they were. One was a Japanese name and one was just another guy like Carl Smith or something. And he was like, and we were in the race to design the best laser. You know the laser that's in your phone that like does the Face ID and stuff? I created that. And I was like, oh, that's a cool invention. He goes, it sucks. And I was like, okay. And he goes, yeah,
right.
this guy, whatever his name was, just got a contract with the government, and I don't know why I'm making him sound like a frat boy, but he was like, got a contract with the government.
Surfer dudes and frat boys.
That's just
in
my
their 60s.
default voice.
What do you know? What do you know?
But he was like, my friend just got a government contract for like billions of dollars, and he's overseas, and he asked me to come with him, but I'm retired, and I used to be a teacher. My wife told me if I ever did it again, I'd get in trouble, but I am the one that named the laser back in the 80s, and this other team came and got it, and they developed it, and they asked me to come in, and I said no, and I became a teacher, and I'm an electrical engineer. Then I had an open neutral for my power line that melted my internet box, and the internet people came out and fixed it no problem. And then I got Excel out there to fix the power line, and they're like, wow, this is a really dangerous open neutral that you got here. And he was like, yeah, I know, I'm an electrical engineer. And then he started telling me the story of him telling the electrical people the same story he told me about the fucking lasers.
Wow.
Do you understand? Like, okay, you know what, Kevin? This isn't a weird segment. You're right. This is just things that annoyed Odie. This is just people that annoyed me. How about that?
Yeah, no, that's what's up.
That's what this is. This is me venting.
Well, I mean, you volunteered to be in public.
Well,
that is like you are. That there was a really good article not too long ago that I read where in it one of the lines was the price of community is annoyance.
Oh my God,
or like
so
maybe
true.
flip that around, like annoyance is the price of community. Yeah, well, yeah, duh. Like, dude, I can't. Come on, you and I are we're very hyperactive individuals who have tons of interest in many different realms, and a lot of times when someone tells us a story or gives us a fact or whatever it is, the setup or pretext to the next few sentences they're about to give us, much like a Hollywood trailer, gave us all the information we needed. So then we're sitting there going, yep. Yeah, this happens to me all the time, man.
Yeah.
do you know people cannot resist the urge to tell a general contractor the one thing they ever built.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, there's so many people that are like, we built a bird shop in gym class. And I'm like,
awesome.
The fuck? Like, why'd you do that in gym class? Also, why was it a bird shop, not a bird house? Like, what is this?
I need answers now. Fuck.
But I don't ask the question.
Right.
Because they're going to fucking talk longer. Or like somebody comes out and they're like, you guys working on that house? It's like, fucking no. I'm standing here with a sledgehammer for no reason.
Question.
Yeah,
oh, you're doing this thing? It's like, no, I'm just doing that thing clearly and obviously.
I feel like if someone asks you a question, like the obvious question, like this electrical engineer probably did this to you, the best thing you could do is be like, are you going to trap me in a conversation if I answer the question?
Like, yeah, can you keep talking or can we move on?
Is this the opening to a conversation that takes at least 10 minutes that I don't want to have today?
Also,
but you can't say that,
no,
like I don't want to
not.
be rude to people, and I'm sure you don't either, and you're representing your company, beep, and like, like so, but like, yeah, you're gonna have to deal with 22-year-old college kids who are like, it's free, so can I have all of it? Like, it's like, no, you fucking know the answer to the question. You're just being a douche. Like,
I've got 3 quick ones left for you.
All right, hit me with the quick one. Rapid fire.
Yeah, I saw tons of people go up to the doors that have 2 gigantic exit signs, walk clearly up to them, look at the exit signs, see people going in the entrance, and then going in the exit anyways, even though they're right next to each other.
Classic.
Yeah,
that's
annoying.
Fine. I do that myself sometimes.
I had a lady.
Like, I'll see a sign that says exit, and I just go, oh, that means the door goes the opposite way. Got it.
Fair enough.
Fine. This is an entrance that swings out. Got it.
I just think if you're walking up to the entrance and like clearly one's marked entrance and one's marked exit and you still go up to the exit and you look at it like you're confused, dude, what?
Here's what I say. Why is a mall and or public space trying to guide the flow of traffic that much in a micromanaged sense?
Well,
like for me, I'm like, why are you trying to micromanage every step I take? Fuck you, I'll go in the exit.
On a normal basis, I would agree, but given the fact that the exit goes straight to the cashiers and there's like one
Look,
yeah,
I got to fight the system somehow.
Well, you can't, Kevin. I had a lady come up to me. You go in the right door, you go out the right door. This is the way it is.
I don't.
I can tell. Right. I had a lady come up to me. This is the one that I think was the most like skateboard guy moment for me.
Okay.
She came up to me.
See this? Okay, this is what I was waiting for.
Yeah, this
okay.
is the one.
Skateboard guys' stories. These are the weird ones. Okay.
She comes up to the table and she's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I give her my spiel about local business, all this. And she goes,
and then she goes, I'm an electrical engineer.
Have you heard about these lasers in your phone? And I was like, please, actually, I have.
I was in a competition with that guy in the 80s.
Oh, my God, you're Carl Smith.
Right. No, finish your story.
No, so she's like, oh, I get this quite a lot, which is fine. She was like, oh, all my needs are already taken care of. I'm good. And I'm like, my answer to that is always, oh, great. We love to hear that, right? Like, good. You don't need any work done. Yeah. You don't spend money. That's fine.
Here's our card anyway.
She goes, however, I am going to take one of your chip clips. And I was like, what? And she's like, I'm taking one. I'm taking one because I want one, okay? That's exactly what she said. She goes, I'm taking one because I want one, okay? And I went, yeah, ma'am, no, would you like a tote bag too? This is all free. And she goes, no, I'm taking a chip clip. And she took the chip clip and walked in. Like, she was like they weren't free.
Like aggressive.
Like aggressively taking one. And I'm like, I offered you more stuff and you said no to that. And you're like, no, I am taking this. Yeah, dude, they're free. There's like 50 of them on my table. You think I'm keeping these?
Here's the difference between you and me. If someone said something like that to me aggressively about a thing that was free, I would be like, did you have a rough week? And a lot of times people will be like, yeah. And I'll be like, take two. And then they're like, they walk away happy. I feel like that's how I would have read that. I would have been like, that lady had a tough week and somebody was controlling her. Someone was micromanaging.
Maybe.
You know what it is? She was walking in and she's like, I can't believe this place is going to micromanage every fucking step I take with their entrance and exit sign. I'm taking a chip clip. All right. What do you got? You got one more.
Yeah.
Right? One more.
This last one, I think I saved the best for last.
Hit me. Yeah.
This guy comes up to me with a part for his home because we're home contractors in a way. And he goes, I called one of your companies that does like the work we do. He's like, I called one of them out there. I called two of them out there. None of them answered my question. And I went on Google, and Google's AI told me what was wrong. And now I'm here to get that part because apparently AI knows how to do your guys' job better than you. And I just dumbfounded was like, hey, cool. I'm glad you got your part. Like, here's like you're in the right spot. Like, I am not a tech, so I don't know what you're talking about. I also don't know what that part is. It could be to the DeLorean for all I know. And also, cool. You're a fucking moron if you think AI is better than the people in the trades.
Well, what you don't know is that guy's halfway through a story where he's gonna break something in his house.
Yeah, I guarantee
AI
it.
To fix it.
I guarantee
he's gonna go back and say, "I got the fucking part, and I'm so
boom, explode." Yep. And that's not a funny haha. That's a funny oh no, like you're relying on AI and you trust that more than the professionals in your home.
He caught you midway, baby.
I guarantee what it is. Whatever fix the company said it was obviously more money than he thought he needed to pay. Because that's what people do when they don't understand how pricing works on anything, whether it be home services or not. They think it's too much automatically and think they can do it themselves and then spend more money in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you're in the public, man. This is it.
Yep. This is my life every Saturday, baby.
That's how this goes, though. I mean, I'm in it all the time. I go and stop by local coffee shop most days of the week. I'm like, I feel like you're telling me these interactions. I'm like, yeah, I have interactions like that every day.
But here's the thing, Kevin. When I'm there for 6 hours and my job relies on me keeping up my motivation and my extrovertness to talk to people, these conversations are like a fighting game that are just wearing me down. Because at some point I'm like, well, do I want to talk to all these people? Because what if I get trapped in another conversation about open neutral power lines or whatever? Like, I don't want that.
Also, my real question is that you're an electrical engineer and you had an open neutral and you didn't just fix it. Like, combine him with the guy who went to go get the part that he needed and be like, you are a complete person who could have actually solved this. To like just combine their personalities, like, oh, there's an open neutral. Hey, I'm an electrical engineer. I could fix this.
The way he talked about being an electrical engineer was like that he could fix it too, which was like, it was.
So you should have fixed it. Like, I would have been like, why didn't you fix that?
Yeah. So if I get more of these stories, I'll bank them. But they're just interactions that make me go, why are you doing this? We're both human. You don't need to do this.
I mean, people are weird, man.
People are weird.
People do weird
Certified
things.
weirdness.
I will have like some guy. People will give you unsolicited advice, mostly dudes. Some guy was literally walking by our site this week as we were pouring concrete and was like, "Oh, you're pouring concrete?" And it's like, fucking duh.
Cannot
like
stand
internally,
that shit. I'm
like, fucking duh. Externally, I'm like, yep. And then he goes to talk to the guy that I'm training, and he's like, I had a friend who was doing that. All I hear is blah, 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 buckets, and it was easier. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Go away.
Not only was this not you, but like, and then he goes, just saying, and then walked away. I can't tell you how many people think that it's excusable to just espouse bullshit just like vomit awkwardness as long as they punctuate it with just saying.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I know you're just saying. Just saying, just saying. Of course you're just saying. I couldn't stop you from just saying, but I had to listen to you just saying something that likely is untrue, misinformed, half correct, or incorrect altogether.
Yep.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Like,
I
fucking A.
actually hate when people, and my fucking parents used to do this all the time. They'd come into my room, and I'd be like, playing a game or doing homework or watch.
Yep.
You watching TV? No, the TV's on here and I'm looking at it, but I'm actually fucking. I don't know. Like I don't. What do you? Ah!
There's a term for that. It's called phatic communication. It's like a
Oh.
testing of the system, right? PHATIC, right? Phatic communication is like, wow, that's a beautiful sunset. We're both looking at it. We know what beauty is. Like, we intrinsically understand it, but I'm saying it so that you say it back. It's almost like a, hey, we're experiencing the same thing? You know, like, so a
Yeah.
lot of times people use that as a conversation opener. But the thing is, going back to this, people like you and I who are constantly analyzing context, subtext, like our brains are like always on the go. We don't have to say that's a beautiful sunset to stand beside someone and notice it and enjoy it together. We'll still reminisce about it as beautiful later. We don't have to say it. Some people can't help but fucking say it. Like, it's almost like an insecurity of their own reality, right? And so, like, that's really what you're dealing with, is you're having these people who are coming up and their conversation opener already starts in a way where you're like, yeah, okay, we're experiencing the same thing, but not the same way, you fucking weirdo. And then they launch into whatever thing that you're describing, and it just makes the conversation. I was going to say, like, you had people come up and vomit awkwardness upon you.
Yep.
And then
I'm
walk
gonna start
away.
using that vomit
And
awkwardness.
That's what it is. They're just they come up and they're like, here's the awkward interaction I have for you today, sir, and good day.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Somebody's got to listen to my bullshit, and it's you
at
because
least
you're
you're
out
getting
here.
paid. At least you're getting paid to listen to it.
You know what? That is true.
All right, beautiful. Let's move on to the news now.
Kevin, would you like to do news?
I would love to do the news. You know what? I'll cue up the news segment. Hold on.
Yeah, baby. It's the UnPop news coming at you fresh and hot from the command deck of the SS Marlon Brando. Let's see what this week had in store.
All right, news time.
I'm gonna do the news.
Fucking birds.
I didn't even hear that. What are you talking about?
Stop gaslighting me.
HBO gaslit us because they raised their prices. And you wanted to talk about this. I
Oh,
put it on the news
fucking
up
A.
top. Huge increase in price, too, with no warning, no lead up, no build up. Just, hey, you're going to pay like $1.52 more.
Everybody say it with me. Streaming is now cable again. Like, that's what this is. Like, it's fucking insane. Okay. And that is not to discredit the fact that us cable cutters, as we were labeled, like, we just were moving away from fucking cable, period, because cable sucked.
Yeah, I don't
so
want
like
commercials.
cable sucked, and it was like diminishing returns. Like, the services didn't get that much better, but it always cost more, right? And they were trying to get you to bundle everything so that it could have a fucking monopoly. It's fucking anyway.
DVR.
So, like, we moved away from it, and there was probably I want to say we had a good like 8 to 10 years of like, wow, this is really nice.
From, you know what it was,
and
Kevin?
Less
From, like,
expensive.
2010 to 2020 was like
Yep.
prime streaming time, baby.
And then somewhere around, I want to say like 2018, 2019, a bunch of big boardroom doors shut, and people came out and they go, we're going to come, like, they came out and they were like, all right, let's shake each other's hands. We're going to ruin IP. Yeah, we're going to ruin a bunch of IP, but we're going to own it, and then we're going to ruin it.
And then we're
going to charge people to watch us ruin the IP. And then we're going to compete with one another, but at the same time, we're all going to raise prices, and we're going to start price fixing on the IP that we're ruining, right? And we're going to tell the fan bases that they're too needy. And that's what we're doing? That's what we're doing. All right, great meeting. Let's all go back to our private equity lifestyles.
Yep.
And that was it.
So
and now we're on like the downside of that. And many people, like yourself and myself, although I should announce, we don't publicly endorse this, although we might recommend it if you talk to us personally. We're going to the fucking high seas, baby. Downloading's back, pirating's back.
Okay, so there's a couple of things that I want to unpack with the HBO price raises.
Yeah.
One, Warner Brothers Discovery spent millions of dollars in the last few years for their name changes. They went from HBO Max to like Max to or HBO Go to HBO Max to HBO something back to Max.
They paid a company
Yeah.
to rebrand them.
Yep.
And rebranded twice.
Back to where they are
and
now.
are back to where they were.
Yeah. So obviously they got to make up that money somehow. But that's not the most interesting thing about this. The most interesting thing is the fact that Warner Brothers Discovery is up for sale right now. We know confirmed Paramount Plus made a bid. It got denied. And this week there's rumblings that Netflix is interested in acquiring the company. And here's why that's interesting, Kevin. Here's the bread and butter of why Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery. Because
here's how the cookies get made.
We both love the Rebel Moon Part 1, Part 2 Director's Cut Zack Snyder movies. And since Zack Snyder has a relationship with Netflix, if Warner Brothers Discovery gets bought by Netflix, guess what might come back, baby? The Snyderverse. And that's what we all want. Fuck the new Superman. Fuck the new Peacemaker. Fuck Creature Commandos. Let's get Zack Snyder back in. Let's get Ben Affleck back. Henry Cavill back. Let's get Gal Gadot back. Let's get problematic Ezra Miller back. Forget Lobo Jason Momoa. Let's get Aquaman Jason Momoa back.
No.
How do you feel about that? Oh, and Jared Leto can come back as the Joker because we all love him.
I don't want Snyderverse. No.
Yeah.
He's bad.
That's what the Snyder fans actually think, is that if that happens, and maybe
who are the Snyder fans?
You and me.
Are there many of that? No, we're not. A legitimate question. Like, are there millions of people who are like, this is peak storytelling? Like, who are you and who hurt you? That's my question. Who are you and who hurt you? And show me on the doll where Zack Snyder touched you. Like, that's what I'm at, you know?
Yeah, look.
Because they're fucked up, man. Like, those are not good stories. They're not good movies.
Here's what I think could be interesting.
Yeah.
You get all those... You don't restore the Snyderverse, but I do think it would be interesting to give Zack Snyder a Justice League Part 2 with all that and, like, have him follow up with the dark side. I, strictly for curiosity's sake, would be down for that. But the thing that concerns me the most about Netflix buying Warner Brothers is Netflix makes really bad stuff. A lot of their strike rate. Look, I'm not saying they don't make good stuff like Stranger Things and other stuff, but most of the stuff
is getting worse. Okay.
Yeah, like a lot of Netflix stuff are misses,
Mindhunter.
Yeah, canceled after 2 seasons though. You know what I mean? Like Netflix.
That's why I'm laughing.
Original stuff from Netflix either gets canceled early on, or it's so good that everything else is held to that standard, like Peaky Blinders or Stranger Things or something. Or
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, or there are movies that look like they were filmed in fucking cupboards with like Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx or whatever.
Okay, listen. This is just the. How do I do this? How do I do this without just like over explaining?
Well, keep your energy up because the next bit of news is really bad.
Consumer capitalism. Like, but that's what this is. I mean, this is late stage capitalism and American, well, really just like American/global consumer capitalism at its worst. It's just showing us the worst face value of it. And the face value of that is like, yeah, when profits are driving things, people's needs take the backseat, or people's wants even. Like, just it ruins things over and over and over again. And the acquisition cycle, like the solipsism of these companies that are just like paying one another back and forth for these dumb things that are driving like this fictitious, spurious economic growth that actually isn't happening because it's so dumb. And then they just like acquire one, and everybody like all the fucking like people who are like, yay, capital, they all fucking like applaud. They're like, yay, capitalism did it again. An acquisition happened. And it's like, what did that do? Because there's going to be it's going to be diminishing returns again. There's going to be inferior products at higher prices. And this time, because we were streaming and not buying physical things, they think it's going to be okay to sell you everything at a subscription price. Like, everybody who was making anything of worth in the early 2000s moved over to subscriptions over the past 10 years. Like, even the new versions of, like, audio mixing equipment has a subscription to it. It's like, it's not that you buy a thing anymore. Like, you don't just buy a thing and have it. You buy the equipment so that you can rent the thing on the equipment, but in order to rent the thing, you have to be connected to the other thing, and it's just like, and in a world where, like, optimization and business talk is all about removing the gates to the consumer, they're just creating more fucking pay gates. Like, yeah, cool, you're removing, like UX gates, but, like, you're increasing the level of pay gate, which is fucking asinine. Anyway, it's okay. Moving on.
The thing about this that's
I could go on.
Yeah, I'm going to cut you off because there's a couple things that are really concerning about this. One, we're obviously getting closer to one company owning way too much stuff. So if Amazon,
we're already there.
Well, I'm saying we're getting even closer to like one. Like, I'm talking about legitimately one company owning everything. Like,
yeah,
right now we still got a couple to choose from, but like. Apple could buy this.
An economic hegemony. Yeah.
Apple could buy this. Amazon could buy this. Paramount got declined, which is interesting to me. But, like, anybody could buy this. And I think the biggest actual, like, legit concern that I have with this is what does happen to the DCU that we're getting. Because right now, James Gunn and Peter Safran are technically separate from the Warner Brothers Discovery, like, hierarchy. They have, like, their own creative control until something goes wrong. But they're
consultants.
They are still a part of that package deal when it's sold. So, hypothetically, Netflix could buy it and then be like, actually, James Gunn and Safran, you are out. We are bringing Snyder back or somebody else or whatever, you know, and then everything that we've gotten so excited for. So I don't think that'll happen.
Is this the worst timeline? Is that what's happening right now?
Although I will say,
did we somehow like Mandela affect ourselves into like the worst timeline?
But I do think that there's enough people that like the direction of DC and a lot of the things that Warner Brothers is doing that if somebody bought this, I would hope they would be smart enough to realize, oh, DC is making them money. We probably shouldn't touch that, but we'll see.
Yeah. I just want good art and good storytelling.
Oh, I got you.
And I want more people to understand what that is.
Okay, well, here's the next bit of news.
Okay. Yeah.
Does the name Stephen Paul mean anything to you in the movie world? Okay, so Stephen Paul is the producer on the Baby Geniuses franchise. You heard of those?
Horrible.
Heard of those movies? We all love them.
No.
He's also a huge backer of the Make Hollywood Great Again movement about bringing all of the filmmaking back to America and Texas and stuff like that. You've heard about that? He acquired Kevin Spacey's film The Contract, and Kevin Spacey, our man who you love, is coming back to theaters in 2026 in North America after all those allegations back in 2018 that he was acquitted for.
Somebody check that man's luggage. That's it. That's all we need.
Kevin Spacey's playing the devil who helps a journalist stuff.
Oh, Kevin Spacey's playing the devil?
Yep.
Oh, you don't say. Oh, he couldn't stop at just like evil maniacal politician that wants to hijack the neurolinguistic side of America. Couldn't play that guy. He's got to be the devil.
Got to be the devil.
I mean, both those characters are the same. He's just gonna turn to the screen the same way that Frank, whatever his name was, House of Cards guy. He's just gonna be like, these people are fucking stupid. They'll eat anything that I'll say. You know, like, oh my god. Anyway,
isn't that
there
awful?
What?
All of this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no.
An idiot producer who has bad movies and is part of a terrible movement that would tank the movie industry is letting a legit criminal come back to theaters.
Once again, this comes back to an economic discussion, and there's plenty of business bros out there who would just point at this and go, well, if they're so bad, why do they have money? And it's like, because you can be bad and have money. Like we've known this for years.
Look at billionaires. Most of them are bad.
If the stuff they make is so bad, how come they have money? And it's like, well, because Kevin Spacey wasn't the sole writer producer of the movie Seven, which continues to pay him royalties.
I was saying he also was in a bunch of movies before his secret got out, and you know what happened? All those movies still paid him.
Yeah, if they're so bad, how come money? I don't know. Fucking Epstein, man.
How about this for money?
What?
Hello Kitty movie in 2028. We'll be there. Opening day. You and I.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's actually that's fine. The Hello Kitty creator's cute. She's awesome. She drew a little doodle and tried to market it, and then it became a global phenomenon and kind of a cultural movement. And Hello Kitty actually is a very inclusive property. So that's fine. That's actually good news.
Isn't Hello Kitty like a little girl in a cat costume?
No.
It's just a little cat?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Hello Kitty.
Fucking look it up. It's actually very heartwarming, and you would like it.
No, I've heard that it's like heartwarming and stuff, but I'm curious, like, in the vein of this movie, do you do it Super Mario style where it's all animated? Do you do Sonic style where it's half animated, half live action? What, you know, you're a kitty
I would
expert.
actually hope that it would be about the creation of Hello Kitty, because I feel like that story is
like Tetris
like
and the BlackBerry movies and stuff.
Yeah, I hope that it ends up being like that, where it's kind of just about her and her life, and it's about like just finding simple joy in things and being nice to people, because that's what Hello Kitty's actually about, is just like being pleasant and nice and friendly and neighborly and all of the things that you should be. Like, so yeah, fine. So
it's woke propaganda is what you're saying.
It's gonna be. I mean, people are gonna be like, "Hello Kitty went woke," and it's be like, "Fucking, you're just a bad person." Like everything's woke. Like the people who use the term woke as a derogatory term the most just reveal to me all the ways in which they misperceive how they behave as being good. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, the more people say woke in a, like, demonizing way, the more I'm like, oh, you're just uncomfortable with the fact that you would be held accountable for, you know, relatively banal or arbitrary negative actions. Why are we doing this week? Why is the news horrible?
Dude, you're the one going down the rabbit holes.
Because this is just where the world is, man. Like, you said woke propaganda. That's what it was. And I was like, here we fucking go. Because, like, you hear it all the time.
I gotta remember your trigger words.
Cult. There's a whole cult that, well, it's not a trigger word. There's a fucking cult of people who have been programmed to use that term to demonize anything inclusive.
Yeah.
Going on.
Scream 7 got a trailer.
Yeah, I saw it.
What do you think?
Bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It looks bad. It looks bad. It's just Ghostface. It's now like they should have just called it, hey, here's another Ghostface for all of you people who can't get enough Ghostface. It's a brand. It's a property. It's not like it's not even a storytelling mechanism anymore. It's like, hey, remember Neve Campbell? Like she's back
now
again. Also, they show you way too much in the trailer.
Oh, absolutely.
They show you like the first two kills, and then they're like, hey, Courtney Cox is back too. Remember her? Like,
okay,
why?
So as a massive Scream fan, when it comes to the horror genre, I think Scream 1 is, to me, it's one of my favorite horror movies and is by far the best slasher for me. I think Ghostface is better than Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers, the Chainsaw Guy. Like, in terms of story and execution, Ghostface is my personal favorite. I'm not saying it's the best objectively. I'm just saying for me, it's the one that I like the most because it has that what's the word I'm looking for? Where it like knows it's like self-aware. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that the first 4 are pretty solid. I obviously think that 2, 3, and 4 are not nearly as good as the first. I really think that they had something going there. 5 and 6 introduced Jenna Ortega and another lead, and they kind of started to really push like Dewey and Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell, Sidney Prescott. All of them kind of got pushed out. I think where they went really wrong was having one of the new girls be the daughter of Skeet Ulrich's character from the first one.
Yeah, they did reductionist world development,
and I think that
just reducing it down to a family line. Yeah,
and also what I think was a downfall for 5 and 6 was the fact that she saw her ghost dad, who she never met, at the age he was when he died, so like 18. Also, who did he have sex with to have this kid? Like, there's so many things about that like don't work. And then I thought 6 was actually okay. Like, I think that they missed the mark on taking it to New York City, but I thought that the way they tied it back to some of the other ones, bringing back Hayden Panettiere's character, having it connect to 5, all of that, I was like, cool, we've wrapped this up. 6 movies, that's about right? Like, anymore, you're going to become Friday the 13th, you're going to become a laughingstock. Like, it's going to get goofy, right?
It's getting goofy. It already did. I would actually say six movies was already too much.
It was already too much. So
three was great.
The first 3 are perfect. Well, not
imagine
perfect,
just like rebooting it, or like anyway.
Which they tried with the show. But here's where I'm going with this. The problem with 7, and it's layered with problems, is you fired the original lead because she spoke out in against Israel. And then Jenna Ortega was like, fuck you guys, you fired her, I'm out. So you lost the 2 people who were the linchpin of 5 and 6 with this new legacy reboot of Scream in the first place. You kept the other 2 siblings in this movie who look like they're going to die. Mm-hmm. You killed Dewey. So, you're already, you're losing characters. Your plan is to now bring back Sidney Prescott, who you didn't want to pay to be in the last one because she was like, hey, I carried this franchise for 5 fucking movies. Pay me what I'm worth. And they were like, no. And then those people got fired, and they were like, actually, can you please come back, Nev Campbell, pretty please? But here's the worst part about this, Kevin. Did you notice whose voice is at the very end of this trailer?
No.
Matthew Lillard is in this.
Oh, okay. Great.
And here's the problem. It's either going to be one of 2 things. It's either going to be Sidney going to see him in jail and being like, hey, help me out, because they were going to do that for 3, where it was going to be the bow on it where Steve or Matthew Lillard's character came back and was orchestrating all of these Ghostface killer things from jail. But then Columbine happened, and for some reason a story about a slasher from a guy in jail and a school shooting that canceled it out, I guess. They were like, whatever. Oh, we can't do this. Yeah. Or it's going to be revealed that he's the killer, or he has a kid, and that kid is the killer for him. There is nothing that they can do in this movie that is going to surprise or be interesting to the audience.
Yeah.
This feels so shallow.
Yeah. And just to tie things back and to continue with the theme that we have going, you've got Kevin Spacey proving that social cancel culture is ineffective if you have enough money, right? But then, of course, the original lead for this film is lost because corpo-political cancel culture is just fine. Where's all the anti-cancel culture people on this? When, a lead from a franchise that you're excited to see gets canceled because they speak out against Israel. I hate the news this week.
Do you want one more bit of news?
It's all tied to just, well, you know what it is, man? It's all tied to just the same bullshit that we have to deal with. There's this looming cloud of denied self-awareness that society is facing right now, where eventually I'm just waiting for enough people who have been indignantly morally misaligned to look up. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this last bit of news is gonna make you feel any better.
Okay.
Taylor Sheridan, who is known from doing the Yellowstone, all that Yellowstone spinoffs, he did all of that TV. He has partnered with Peter Berg, who is a Mark Wahlberg regular director. He did Lone Survivor, Deepwater Horizon, Patriots Day, Mile 22. He's done a fuck ton of Mark Wahlberg action movies. Mm-hmm. That is now our dynamic duo for the Call of Duty movie.
I could care less. 100% pass.
What is this movie?
I don't care about a Call of Duty movie.
How are you going to do
I don't care.
You're just going to do a war movie. It's just a war movie.
Yeah, it's just a war movie. It's fine. Whatever. Yeah. Don't care. Pass.
Pass.
You know who's going to go see that? Every toxic person in a Call of Duty fucking lobby.
I'll go see it.
All the people who are just calling each other gay and saying how much they jerk off in a Call of Duty lobby right now is going to go see this movie. And it's going to be fine. It's going to make millions and millions of dollars, and people are going to point at it, and they're going to go, look, success. And all the incels are going to go, yeah, see, we can have a movie. And I'm going to be like, yeah, fucking fine. That's fine. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, the thing about a Call of Duty movie is, for one, you have the World War II storylines, you have the modern warfare, you have Black Ops, which is like the 60s, 70s. They went to space in one. There's the zombie element of Call of Duty. You got all of that.
Yep.
And here's the thing. This will be a successful movie because as long as it's a good war movie, whether you're a Call of Duty fan or not, you could be a military person, a military veteran. You could have 2 working brain cells like me. If this looks like a fun military movie with like a good cast, I'll go see it. But if it's like Mark Wahlberg and Chris Pratt and Kevin Spacey, like as the leads, then like, because Kevin Spacey's in a Call of Duty game, like, fuck that. I don't want to see, like, I think
he's the president.
This is the he's in Advanced Warfare. He's the leader of the like paramilitary like hitman organization.
Okay.
That was like my favorite Call of Duty game, and I love it more now because you get to shoot him in the face at the end. So it's like so great. But yeah, like Call of Duty name aside or not, my biggest concern is that this movie will do well because it's a good war movie, and people like dads love war movies, And so, like, if this movie makes $1 billion, people are like, "That's how you make a video game movie," and I'm like, "No, that's how you make a generic war movie and slap a title like Call of Duty on it."
100%.
Because there is no plot line in any of the Call of Duty games, in my opinion, that make for a compelling movie. What makes those games compelling is the missions that you get to play, like the sniper ones or the sneaky ones or the tank ones or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm also a Battlefield fan, so fuck Call of Duty because Battlefield is way better as I'm playing Battlefield 6. So, like,
yeah.
Anyways.
Is that the news? That's all of it?
We don't care,
There was no good news this week.
No.
Like, none of the news was like,
oh, wait, I have one last bit.
Hit me.
Woody Harrelson refuses to come back to True Detective.
That's fine.
Is that good news?
Yeah, that's fine. Like, yeah, he's an actor. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
Like,
he said
you don't have to.
He said that season he did was so perfect he wouldn't want to come back and tarnish it.
Good. That's good news.
Because the director
right?
or the writer was talking about maybe bringing him and Matthew McConaughey back. And when Woody Harrelson was asked about it this week, he was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, he basically said, in so many words, I have artistic integrity. We did a good job. We told the story. It ended.
Goodbye.
Good job, Woody.
Moving on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good news. Good.
You're welcome.
I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie. That news segment, let's say my general like enthusiasm, energy, optimism. Usually, I'm somewhere around a 7. You can get me up to a 10, right? And like a lot of times, my outrage is more of a farce, and I'm just playing it off or whatever. But everything in that news segment was so tied to like just the general degradation of arts and entertainment in general that I was like brought down to a 2 in that segment. And that news at the end brought me back up to a 4. Let's see if we can get up to like a 7 and get into what we watched this week. Before we watched Bugonia, right?
Bugonia.
But before we talk about that, you also saw a really good movie that you encouraged me to see.
I did.
And I would encourage you to give like a spoiler-free quick review and endorsement of that film.
Yeah. Okay. I also did see a really bad movie, the worst one of the year.
I don't want to talk about it. Skip it.
So
tell me about the good one.
It was nice to see 2 good movies is where I'm going with that. It was nice to see 2 good movies this week. I saw 3 in total.
No bad movies this week.
So newer director who I've never really seen anything from. I'm just checking his filmography. Yeah, I've never seen anything from him. He's only got a couple movies. It's John Michael Powell. He did this little low concept like great drama, family thriller, like mild action piece called Violent Ends. And it's about a family in Arkansas in 1992 who there's like sides to the family, and they've had civil wars between their family in the past. They've been around for a really long time as the drug dealers. They do like meth and cocaine and all of that, right? And they're called the Frost family. And like one part of the family runs a certain part of the business, the other one runs a different part of the business, and they're the drug lords, right? But it focuses on Billy Magnuson's character, who, by the way, just a fucking phenomenal actor. Just from his comedic timing to Game Night and Aladdin to his more serious in this, it's fantastic. What's up?
Nothing. Keep going.
Also, Nick Stahl, who is John Connor in Terminator 3, plays his brother in this. Phenomenal. Coming from one of the worst Terminator movies. But basically, Billy Magnuson's character is the son who doesn't want anything to do with his family. He doesn't really talk to his uncles. He doesn't talk to his cousins that are in the business. It's him, his half brother, and his mom. You keep laughing, Kevin. What are you laughing at?
What is the story? You've just described it in so many terms that it's just really funny. Where does the term violent ends come from? What is the most famous quote involving the words violent ends? Do you know it?
No, it's probably in the movie, but
these violent delights have violent ends.
Oh yeah, that's in the movie. Robert Frost.
No, that's not Robert. That's fucking William Shakespeare, Odie.
Oh, I don't know
It's a quote from Romeo and Juliet, a story about two families who have had wars for a very long time.
This is one family.
And a son who doesn't, but two sides. And a son who doesn't necessarily lay claim to his name, falling in love.
Well, the love story isn't tied like Romeo and Juliet. But you're right. This is a little bit like that.
Romeo and
Well, you're in Romeo and Juliet, so that's why you know all this.
I knew it anyway.
Well, I don't know
it's
Shakespeare.
Just funny hearing you describe the movie and me going, Romeo and Juliet.
Well, either way.
The movie's heavy. It's called Violent Ends.
Yes.
That's a quote. It's Romeo and... Okay.
Billy Magnuson's character,
lovers.
Lucas, doesn't want to be a part of the family business, and as he's about to get married to this girl that he's in love with, and they're going to move away and start a life elsewhere.
Romeo and Juliet.
One of his cousins from the more violent side of the family gets out of jail.
Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, really? Is that Romeo and Juliet? That's crazy. And in a twisted turn of events, she gets killed. And then the movie kind of from there is how he deals with it and his slow descent into the thing he didn't want to become. Okay. And this might have the building blocks of Romeo and Juliet. I know that story. This does not play out even remotely close to that.
Well, yeah, but yes. It's different enough.
It's very different enough, in my opinion.
It's just really funny because when you first said the title, I was like, oh, that's violent delights have violent ends. All right, cool. Yeah, that's what Juliet says to Romeo. To kind of warn him about what might happen. And then as you were describing the movie, I'm like, oh shit. Oh, it just is. Okay, I got it.
I think
until the vengeance part kicks off and then the originality comes in. So there's a little bit of a shift on it, but it's really funny because I was talking with a friend recently this week where it's like, well, so much of modern pop culture that's really well known is a reskin of some form of Shakespeare.
Yeah, I mean, things are reskins of things all the time, but I think if this was she was from a different family and he was from a different family, and that would be more on the nose, but this is not that. It's one family that's just very messed up. And again, I don't want to spoil it, but the way it plays out is not even remotely close to Romeo and Juliet, especially not the way it ends and stuff. But obviously, I mean, otherwise.
Okay.
But what I think really drives this is it's really more of a character piece on Billy Magnuson's character, as it opens with him talking to his dad who's in prison and him being I'm getting married, I'm going to have kids, they're not going to be part of this, I'm ending this. And his dad's like, you're a rattlesnake, and one day you're going to bite. Your venom is there, you're just waiting to bite. And he was like, I'm not. And then things unfold. And what I liked about it the most is that it's a very low concept at the end of the day, but it's so compelling the way that each character has their parts in it, the way that he kind of goes through this descent into becoming like his family. Also, the villain, who's his cousin, it's a guy named Sid in the movie, is just a really well done, well acted villain. Is
that played by Nick Stahl?
No, that's Nick Stahl plays the half brother named Tuck. It's James Badge Dale, who was in 13 Hours, Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, another movie that I really like. Plays the villain. It's just honestly from start to finish, it's so good. I really loved it.
Oh shit, Alexandra Shipp's in this. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
This seems like it's got a great cast and
it is. It's fantastic, and
we love Billy Magnuson.
I can't get enough of him. I think he's phenomenal. He's
great.
Yeah, this movie is just. It's just. I don't want to give anything away. It's just really good. If you have the chance to see it, I definitely encourage you to.
I will see it, and then I'm going to tell you how much of it is like Romeo and Juliet.
Sure. I don't.
Even if it's different.
I can't express how little I care if something is like something from Shakespeare because
No, it's just funny.
Unpopular
I was like,
opinion.
oh, okay.
I think a lot of Shakespeare's plays are dumb. Yeah.
How dare
I think
you.
he is overhyped. Yeah.
You think?
How do you think about that?
Okay. Wow. Moving
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
I think
wow.
that Shakespeare
way to
didn't
bring
even
me
write
back
his,
down to
he
a
didn't even
2.
write his own plays, so what's it matter?
Whatever.
He had a
Way to bring
ghostwriter.
me back down to a 2, baby. All right. So, Violent Ends, a.k.a. Romeo and Juliet, redone for the 107th time.
Not even close.
You endorse as a great movie.
You can't say that if you've never seen it.
No, I'm going to have to see it. And then you're going to have to hear about it. So. All right. Anyway, moving on.
I'm waiting for you. You know what? I don't even want to talk to you right now, Kevin.
That's fine. We both saw Bugonia this week. Odie Matthews at the movies.
Odie Matthews at the movies.
Odie, very rarely do I see a movie that isn't a Yorgos Lanthimos film that I think is absurd and weird and amazing and funny and dark and all of the things that Yorgos Lanthimos films are. And that is why I'm so glad that after Kinds of Kindness last year and after the wonderful reception that Poor Things had before it, we have another Yorgos Lanthimos film in Bugonia.
Yeah, not written by him, though. Written from the person that did The Menu and part of Succession, which I think is interesting.
Yes. So the script, who did
Will
do
Tracy.
the story on this? Will Tracy, who worked on, like you
Succession,
said,
The Menu.
Succession, and The Menu. Succession, phenomenal, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think we both agree Succession is a masterpiece, also a retelling of a Shakespeare story. So Will Tracy, who worked on that, wrote the script for this movie based off Save the Green Planet, passed it off to Yorgos Lanthimos. Yorgos Lanthimos, and I've watched a few interviews now and like Q&As, Yorgos Lanthimos read the script, immediately sent it to Emma Stone, who he calls Emily all the time, because that's her real name. But he sends the script to her, and then she reads it and goes, yes, let's do this. How do we do it? Right? And they immediately start coming up with how to do this film. And first off, garbage, bad, fun, good, or great?
What do you think? I'm curious. I want to hear yours
I think
first.
this was great.
I-
This was great. I would watch it again. I would buy it. I would own it. I would show other people this film and talk about it with them afterward. If we've established nothing else in this episode of Unpop, it's that I love art so much that the threats to it make me properly actually frustrated in a worldly sense, and that when it is done well, and not just by my subjective standards, but by the objective standards with which we have analyzed art for centuries as a species, I love it. So
Yeah.
it's great.
I think this is great for sure.
Yay!
I'm
We're back up. We're getting back.
I'm working on my top 10 of the year
'Kay.
because I've seen so many fucking movies. It's
You've
crazy.
seen at least one movie a week.
I've
this year.
seen on average 2 movies a week.
Cool.
I think
My life is a movie, so.
True. My life is a cutscene in a video game, and I'm the background character.
Somebody, here's a funny bit before we get into this. Somebody called me a character actor the other day, and I said, I'm not a character actor. I'm a character who acts.
That is so true. I've been editing The Predator for Magnum Opus, and that is so incredibly true.
Thank you. All right.
Look, Bugonia. Yeah, I saw this with a couple gummies, and
Good call.
From the start with Jesse Plemons, who I love Jesse Plemons in Game Night too, by the way. It all comes back to Game Night. I'm gonna watch that today. Actually,
that is a good movie.
Fucking loved everything. Okay, here's what I want to say first about this movie before we do spoilers.
Yeah.
For me personally, and I like that you and I both thought this movie was great, but we had different kind of experiences with the way it unfolded. For me, there was certain sections of the movie where it felt like it was dipping into a different genre. I was like, oh, this is more of a drama. This is more of a thriller. This is more of a comedy. And as the plot unfolded, there was things that were said and done that by the time you get to the end, you look back on those and it's like, oh, wow. I look at those completely different than I did as the movie was going through those moments, because once there's the reveal, I'm like, oh, these are now painted in a completely different light with different meanings in a different way, which now I'm like, I can't wait to watch this movie again with knowing what I know, to look at those through that lens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did have a different way that we viewed this. For me, this was an absurdist, dark comedy, sci-fi the entire time. Like, it doesn't shift for me. But that's because I've watched Yorgos Lanthimos films, like, very avariciously. Right? No, I would even say voraciously. Like, I eat them up. I love them. The first one I ever watched was The Lobster, and then somebody who was like an artsy fartsy friend of mine was like, "Well, you should watch Dogtooth," and I watched that and fucking loved it.
I've only seen The Lobster. Should I watch? What should I watch next?
All of them. Killing of a Sacred Deer, Dogtooth, Poor Things, Kinds of Kindness, like all
Kinds
of
of Kindness or Poor Things? Which one should I watch first?
Poor Things.
Okay. I'll do it today.
Yeah, so fucking amazing. And Killing of Sacred Deer is phenomenal. So, like, I want to talk about this film the way that the film is structured, which is layers within layers. So, first layer, I just kind of want to talk... No.
Okay.
First layer, no spoilers.
Okay.
I just kind of want to talk about the things that are superficial about the film that we appreciated and things that we normally touch on, like cinematography, set design, things like that. I would like to begin that by saying my absolute favorite thing about this film was the set design, after learning that this was a practical set. Now, a practical set, and this is what's really cool about this, is a set that is built from scratch to be practically used, right? So instead of just practical effects on a soundstage, you have a set that is the fully functioning practicality of the film itself. And in a film like this that takes so much place in one locality, right? Like the vast majority of it's in one space. That is so necessary, and it's mind-blowing. And even Yorgos and like the cast talk about it with this reverence and awe. They're like, we can't believe this house was built from scratch for us, for this film. And neither can I. And it's amazing. Yeah. So the house that we see in the film and the house that Jesse Plemons' character and Dawn spend the most time in, and where they bring, this isn't a spoiler, where they bring Emma Stone,
the basement.
Michelle Fuller, when they kidnap her, was made for this film. And also, it's so fucking, like, and like, when you think about that, and you think about every little piece of detail that was put into what it looks like and what made it feel real, it's astonishing to me.
Yeah, it 100% looks like a house that I would imagine, like, it fits. I don't know how else to say, but like, it fits everything. Yeah. All the clutter, all the disorganization, all the random things in the corners. It feels like something that these two people, Dawn and Teddy, would like. This feels like their house. It feels like the kind of house these people would be in. Like,
it's dirty, it's dingy,
perfect.
It's semi-rural. Like, it's by itself, kind of set away from society. And you know, we even open up on like a fire scene, you know, and like it's like in the backyard. Like it, and one thing that I really loved about it was in a lot of the scenes you have this American flag, like the scenes on the porch, you have this American flag set off in the distance, right? And it's kind of teasing you, and I'll get into that later. But it, like, at first you're like, oh yeah, of course they just have like an American flag on the porch, and it's the nicest. But when you are watching the film, I'm like, that's the cleanest thing.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
It's literally, it's a pristine, like, everything around is, like, dirty, old, degraded. They even have, like, an old station wagon and stuff. And, like, but then there's this, in the background, in a lot of the scenes, there's this pristine American flag, but it's in the corner, back left corner of the porch. And it's just, like, waving. And then when he runs, when Stavros' character, the cop, goes around the house, like, you actually get a shot of it. It's not even on a flagpole. It's just, like, kind of on the corner of the porch. Like, it's actually just like loosely hanging there, which just gave it even more character. It's so fucking insane. Like, Yeah, I love that. What's some of your favorite like aspects of this film? Because it's very art focused and art forward.
I don't even. This is man. Where do I start? I'll start with what I know best. The cinematography, just
Phenomenal.
Absolutely, fucking crushed it. And what I liked about this a lot, the cinematographer Robbie Ryan, who, oh, no wonder I recognize his work.
The style.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The aspect ratio was the first thing that really caught my eye, and I was like, oh, we're sticking with this, because sometimes movies will start and the aspect ratio will change or like expand or whatever, but no, we stick with the aspect ratio that I think really worked for this. It looks beautiful, the color grading is great, and what I think really stood out with the cinematography is the way it pairs with the sound design and the score of this movie. There's a lot of musical cues and like sounds that are directly linked to the camera movements and the camera switching and different frames. And like all of that together, the music, the cinematography, obviously the weird directing, it makes for a really nice movie that feels artsy-fartsy but doesn't like shove it down your throat like a lot of movies. Like earlier this year I talked about this the Weeknd's movie where I was like, this is all flair, no substance. Like that's what I mean.
We've gotten a few of those this year.
So no, I think that to me definitely stood out. And then obviously the performances, I could talk about them all day. Everybody's fucking incredible in this from start to finish. I think the one that we probably both want to highlight is Aiden Delvis, who plays Don.
Really amazing. And like I found myself in the movie, I was like, because sometimes an actor is so good that they can play a disability well. But Aiden Delvis is actually an actor who is on the autism spectrum and came through the Miracle Project, which is an inclusive film art and expressive art program for people of all abilities.
Yeah. I honestly, I didn't know that when I was watching this, and the entire time I was like, this guy is fucking crushing this. Like,
you're like, wow, he's doing a really good job.
Well,
playing
not
this
even
character.
playing somebody on the spectrum, just in general, because and obviously now I kind of see it more, but like I thought maybe this character, I didn't know this character was supposed to be autistic. Really, I thought he was just he came from a family that was mistreated, and you learn things about as the family goes, because these guys are cousins. That I was like, oh, like maybe the guy is just like a byproduct of this family, not being well managed in a way.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he was like a drug baby, like somebody had like been pregnant with him and like done a bunch of drugs and it messed him up or something. I think that like his whole performance and the way he's so apologetic to Teddy the entire time is one of the themes. Well, we'll get to the messaging and themes, but like, that was the one thing that really stood out to me, is that his character feels so innocent in all of this that it really is kind of interesting the way it plays out with him and his character.
Well, he also is 19 in real life. Like, he's
sense.
very young. Yeah. Which I think, good on the casting director for finding someone who can capture that in a natural sense, because they are that. He's the younger cousin of Teddy.
He's like half his age, because Jesse Plemons is like 37, 38.
Exactly. So, so just really cool. In the Q&As, what's really awesome is like there's one Q&A that they did right after a film festival where like the guy hosting it, he's a film critic, and he goes to ask a couple questions, and then Aiden prompts him. He goes, did you want me to talk more about like the complex relationship of my character with with Teddy? And he goes, yeah. Like, it's just really funny. And he's like, he like kind of like takes over the Q&A for a second. It's really, really cool. But he's the thing I liked the most about his character was he is very grounded, and he is a complex character without having a ton of dialogue.
Yeah,
which is
really
very hard to pull off.
I also realized this as we're talking about it. I think with a lot of movies, especially ones that are good like this, when it comes to actors and characters like that, I get so lost in their performance that I kind of like that I can't tell if it is somebody in real life who has something or not, or somebody like the whole performance, the whole character, everything was just so compelling and so engaging that I was just lost in the fact that I was watching a movie. So anything outside of that, like, I didn't even consider or think of until we're talking about it now. Like, when I learned that he was actually on the spectrum, I was like, oh, like, wow, I should have probably realized that, but I was just like, he's just so good with everything going on that I was lost in it, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, and like you said, everybody's great. I mean, Jesse Plemons, and the main cast is Jesse Plemons,
Emma
Stone, Emily, Stavros Halkias, Aidan Delvis, and then Alicia Silverstone as the mother figure. All of them are phenomenal. And what's really great about having a small cast like that and this practical set and stuff is it makes it a low-concept film, even though it's an absurdist dark comedy sci-fi. So one other thing that I wanted to mention before we get more into, like, the plot, spoilers, things like that, is so the music in this film really caught me off guard because there's these striking moments where this huge orchestra comes in out of nowhere, seemingly. You know, like, that was... It's almost like the jump scares were sonic in this, you know? And the music was composed by Jerskin Fendricks, who worked on Poor Things and on Kinds of Kindness. And he's worked with Yorgos Lanthimos a lot. And Yorgos has talked about how their process in the past with Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness was that Jerskin would just read the script, get a sense for the plot, go talk to the actors, kind of do like a one-on-one, and then based on like some of the emotions that they were talking about and the themes and the things that he was picking up in there, would compose the music for it, which I think has always lended really well to these movies and created good atmosphere. On this movie in particular, Yorgos did not let him read the script, did not let him talk to the actors. Even when he tried to, Yorgos was like, no, you can't. You cannot talk to them. He's like, I will give you 4 words for this movie, and you have to, and like he give him some other prompts too, but he's like, you have 4 words to mainly go off of. And those words are spaceship, bees, it's really, really funny, actually. Spaceship, bees, and he said Emily Ball. Yeah, here it is. Bees, basement, spaceship, and then one word, Emily -bald. Like, that was all he had to go off of to make all of the music for this film. And I think he did a phenomenal job. And then they incorporate 3 real world songs in this, which is Where Have All the Flowers Gone, Basket Case by Green Day, and Good Luck by Chappell Roan, to great effect. Because they're the only real world songs, and they're in these really comic moments. Do you have anything else that you want to highlight before we really get into the meat and potatoes of this?
No, I'm ready. Meat and potatoes for sure.
Okay, cool. I could talk about this film for 2 hours, but I'm going to try to bring it down. Yeah. All right, so do you want to run down the plot, or do you want me to run down the plot?
Well, I think I would like to kind of, like, as we go, I'd like to move through the plot, getting to the end as we go through, like, each little part.
Great. This movie doesn't go 0 to 100 as a lot of movies do, where you're building up, and then this movie starts at 100 with chemical castration. Like, so spoiler alerts for Bugonia here. Period. Like, this movie, the first introduction we get to these characters that we're going to be taking this journey with, Don and Teddy, played by Aidan and Jesse Plemons, Aidan Delvis and Jesse Plemons, chemically castrate themselves.
Yep.
Like, right off the bat.
Right after a long, like, kind of poetic voiceover from Jesse Plemons about bees and life and everything. And it's like, hey, chemically castrate yourself.
Yeah, we get this. Yeah, so we get this intro that's like it's a voiceover that's kind of like eerie. Like, he's talking almost prophetically. Like, he has so much resolve in the things that he's saying. And then immediately after that, his character Teddy, who is very obviously the older cousin of Dawn, played by Aidan Dalbus, is talking to him about how they need to be completely focused, and so that's why they have to chemically castrate themselves. Because he's been convinced, and this is obviously in this conversation, if you know fuck all about society right now, you already know that Jesse Plemons' character is a hyper masculine conspiracy theorist podcast junkie. Mm-hmm. Like you just know it right off the bat. You're like, this is Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, fucking like echo chamber podcast junkie.
Yep.
And he's saying all the shit that like all
it's
these
buzzwords.
dudes who you meet. Yeah, it's all the buzzwords. He's like all these synapses that are firing with these chemicals in our system. It's just hijacking our brains, and that's why we gotta chemically castrate ourselves. Like, you're like, okay, this is where we start.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. We've established this part of the world, and then we cut immediately to the pristine, well-lit date, like, and I love, even just in this juxtaposition, you get where the tension already begins atmospherically, because you get a dirty backyard fire with two guys who are not well shaved, not well bathed,
all their clothes are dirty,
trimmed. Yep. And they're chemically castrating themselves to get ready to do something big. And then we cut immediately to the pristine, well-lit, whitewashed, like glass enclosure of Michelle Fuller, a.k.a. Emma Stone's life, where she is filming a commercial about diversity and complaining about how much she has to use the word diversity.
Can we diversify the language, is what she says? Yeah.
Which is actually a really good line.
Yeah, I like that.
But it's really funny because you can tell that, like at first she's like explaining it, and Emma Stone does a great job. She's putting on this corporate facade. She's smiling. She's talking about it's called oxalith, which great combination of auxiliary and monolith. Thank you for doing that, Yorgos. Mm-hmm. Good wordplay. Not too on the nose for what we're doing here. But so like we get this scene where she's just like, she's doing an internal propaganda commercial for her own company on why they need diverse leaders in the future. And it's fucking hilarious. Like, she stops it and she's like, can I stop saying diverse now? Like, can we? She's like, and you can tell, like, she really actually doesn't care about what she's saying. She's just saying it to appease the people who work for her.
Yeah. I think that whole opening sequence cutting between the cousins and what she's doing, like that, like comparison or symmetry or whatever you want to, like, whatever the right word is there, but like how we cut from them doing something and it's like them shopping at a thrift store to her like working out on a treadmill. Thank you, that's the word I was looking for. Like between her life and their life was really well done. I think that I want to jump straight to the kidnapping, because a lot of my thoughts have to come with the second, like, from them kidnapping her up until the final big reveal is where a lot of my thoughts lie.
Well, and that happens real quick. So character building, we get the establishment of these three main characters of this film, right? And then we jump right into the kidnapping. Now, the kidnapping itself, I do want to talk about because it's amazing. They, and without over-explaining it, like, you don't have to ask too many questions because they don't, like, show them breaking into her house, which is obviously, like, gated and has security cameras and all these other things, right? She pulls in after a day of, being corporate boss lady in charge of, like, this huge economic driver.
She met Michelle Obama.
Yep. So we get all these pictures. She's obviously very important. She's a female leader. She's on the cover of Time. And then she pulls into her driveway, and they have masks, I believe, of Jennifer Aniston, right?
That's what it looked like.
It looks like Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, it did.
It doesn't look like, yeah. So they have these masks on of Jennifer Aniston, and which is probably like another person who Teddy expects to be an Andromedan, right? Mm-hmm. But like, so, Teddy and Dawn almost unsuccessfully attempt to kidnap Emma Stone. And it's really funny to see how ill prepared they are when she just starts fighting back.
Yeah, she just beating the shit
they
out of
weren't
him.
expecting that. Yeah, because she punches Don and he's just down immediately.
Yeah.
And then Jesse Plemons' character tackles her like 3 separate times and is spraying some knockout gas in her face and trying to get her to like succumb to that. And then finally, like she's running and then notices he's stabbed her with a tranquilizer, and she like looks back at him and falls over, and they've completed the kidnapping. Now we move immediately to this car scene, and what's really a funny little detail that's added is Don goes to get in the front, and Jesse, you hear Teddy go, no, watch her in the back. Like this was not well planned, and if it wasn't like rehearsed a lot. But like you can just see how impromptu everything is. They get back into her car, and then Aiden's character Don shaves her hair. This is where we start getting some of the details about what's really going on from Teddy. He's like, well, you need to shave its hair off so it
doesn't
can't communicate with its mothership.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, wait, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? And Aiden, this was really cool. In the Q&A, Aiden says that was actually the hardest scene of the film for him, because there were so many little things he had to get down about like how he was doing it and the order, and there's all this there's all this equipment around them to film the different angles to get everything correct. And while they're doing this, they also all mentioned it was like a super hot day wherever they were filming. So like it's a super hot day. There's all this pressure, not to mention you're 19 years old making your professional acting debut, and one of the things you have to do is shave Emma Stone's head practically. Like, that's insane. Like, get like at least an Oscar nom for that, you know? Like,
new category.
Best head shaving, like fucking best haircut. He gets it. He wins. But like when that scene was happening, I was like, oh shit. This is practical and real, and Emma Stone even talks about it. She says, like, you know, like it was weird at first, but she actually kind of grew to like it, and like it was important to the film, and so she did it practically. And this was a year and a half, 2 years ago when they filmed it. Oh, right? Yeah. So just a wild thing to have happen and to go through. But I love that as he starts shaving, he's like, not a lot's coming off, and Teddy's like, you have to press harder. He's like, I'll cut her, and he's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
Everything about it is so
Those
funny.
are the moments that I thought were funny.
Comedy.
Yeah. There was some moments that were clearly meant to be more of like the dark comedy that I didn't laugh out loud. I more like chuckled internally, like, oh, okay, that's kind of funny.
I still did. I was laughing the whole time they were abducting her. I'm like, this is going horribly for you two. Like, I'm just cracking up. They're like wrestling and she's kicking him in the balls, and like I had a great time.
No, it's the thing is, like, it's phenomenal. Like, whether you think it's funny or not, I think it's just really engaging. Like, I was so, maybe because of the gummies, I was just so dialed in on what was happening that I was just here was my thing going into this. Yeah. I was like, I want to see if I can figure this out, you know? Because obviously you're going to go into this, I feel, with the question is she an alien? Is she not an alien? And I think
that's the big question, yeah.
And before we get to that big reveal, I think this movie like so many ways I was like, oh, okay, she's not an alien. Oh, no, okay, she is an alien. No, she's not an alien. There was I was like going back and forth so much depending on how conversations played out. Where,
I'll let you know where I started thinking she might be an alien, because, and this is another thing about a Yorgos Lanthimos film is, and why I kind of wanted to talk about it in layers, is very often Yorgos Lanthimos will like show you the line. Like, and by the line, I mean, like, he'll show you the line that most filmmakers will not cross in their film. And he'll very actively show it to you. He'll say, hey, there's a thing here that normally we don't do in film based on storytelling. And then he crosses it. He's like, here's the line. And you're like, oh, cool, yeah, Yorgos, I see this. We've been here before. I know this. I'm very familiar.
Steps over it.
Yeah, and then he goes, eh? And you go, whoa, whoa. But then he'll step over a second line that you didn't see him draw, and you'll go, oh my God, dude, what? Like, and that happens in all of his movies. And I do really feel like what it does is it adds a layer to how the acts play out and how the climax of each film plays out. So, we finish the abduction, and we get back to the practical set, this house, this basement, and she wakes up. Emma Stone's character, Michelle Fuller, wakes up. And before she wakes up, we get this cute scene of Aiden and Jesse's characters, Don and Teddy, dressing up in suits.
Yeah.
Because they want to appear as
professional.
Professional.
Yeah, they want to appear professional with this.
Yeah, and so in their minds, of course, that means suits. Mm-hmm. And Don's character is like, it's too tight, I look stupid. Teddy's like, you don't look stupid, it fits. Really, really funny. And then they go downstairs, she wakes up, and they start what is the beginning of 3 long interrogation scenes.
Yep.
Or really, they get the preamble for this, right? So we have this funny standoff where Jesse Plemons' character is like, welcome to the human resistance. You've been abducted. This was in the trailer, right? We've shaved your head to stop you from contacting your mothership. And then you kind of see Emma Stone's character gather herself and really show who's actually the superior intellect in the room. And she goes, here's how this is going to go based on how I understand society to work. The FBI are going to do a coordinated investigation. You guys are fucked, essentially.
Yeah.
And I love that moment because Jesse Plemons, it's so subtle, but we get all these beautiful close-ups, right? Going back to the cinematography. The whole kidnapping is funny because it's shot in wide. It's wide-angle shots. You're seeing everything that's happening. You're seeing the scrambling and the
it's all far away.
Imperfectness of it. Yeah. And distancing us from the action therein makes it less tense. Now, all of a sudden, we're starting to ramp up the tension, so we get all these close-up shots of them talking and what's going on, little details like the shackles and things like that, and they're rubbing antihistamine cream on her, and even that is a closer shot, so we feel a little more trapped in. We feel in this space with them. And when she says her bit about the investigation, he gets that response wow, my heart's actually racing right now. Good job. That was very convincing. And then he's like, I want you to contact your mothership and get us an audience with your emperor. That's his goal.
That's his goal. During the lunar eclipse, which is in 3 days, to have her beam them up, Scotty, so they can negotiate her species, which are known as Andromedans.
The Andromedans. They're from Andromeda, the galaxy.
The galaxy.
Which is, yep. And fun fact, for this movie, to promote it, they actually created a website for the human resistance, and it's fucking hilarious. I don't know if you went on this, but it shows Andromeda, what we know about it, possible Andromedan suspects, what their anatomy is, and what's really funny is their anatomy is eerily similar to a human's.
Yeah. What
and
a surprise.
Yeah, right. And then, so you're looking at the site and you're like, wait, what is it? But it's very conspiracy theory coded, very, QAnon. It's very much like a conspiracy theorist board, or even flat earther, which does play in this film too. And then the comment section below are a bunch of people whose names are Human 3284, Human 9137, and
that's good.
And they're valid, truth, honestly. Oh, these Andromedans are actually pretty freaky. It's really funny. There's a whole comment section for each one. He establishes his goal, and then I think what's really nice is right after the scene, going back to the juxtaposition of the characters. Emma Stone's character is alone with a shaved head in this very horror sci-fi throwback style ox blood overcoat that you see on characters like the original Nosferatu, and we've seen in some of the most sinister looking horror and science fiction films before. You kind of get this blank slate block, sharper angled outline around a person's body. And so I think it was interesting that they had that, and they almost went with a horror aesthetic for her. And then the two go upstairs and they hug each other and jump up and down and celebrate.
Yeah, that was really
kidnapping.
funny.
I loved that scene.
Yeah,
it was phenomenal. I love that they're just jumping and they're just giddy and they don't even know how else to express it. And the way it was shot, where it pans from one part of the house where they come out of the basement, and then it goes across the wall. You don't see them, and then all of a sudden it just reveals them jumping, and we get the zoom out, and you can hear the jumping from outside the house.
Yeah. And then I think what I really liked was the first interrogation scene, because I think that really lays the groundwork for what each character believes, and like I think it does a really good job of keeping you guessing on what's real and what's not, because Emma Stone basically gives the speech that we all want to give to everyone that's down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole of being incelly and weird and, you know, believing things.
You're talking about the next day when he goes down to
the first interrogation scene when he goes down and talks to her.
She's like, I think I know what's going on.
And she's like, you're in an echo chamber, and he's like, I'm not in an echo chamber. I do my research. and you're like, wow, I've heard this before. Yeah. And it ends with her saying, you know, I'm sorry, Teddy, you need help. And then he hits her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and what's really great, each of these interrogation scenes, the real challenge there was to ramp up the intensity in each one, telling its own little story, but then to connect each of them through the revelation of the different personality traits of each character. And what's really great about Emma Stone's character is you can see that she is balancing a lie. Like she has her corporate facade, she has this like strong woman leader face that she's been putting on, but deep down she knows that her corporation is doing bad things to the world, right? And we do see some of that, like when we before the first interrogation scene, we get a shot of Teddy going to work, and
the lady he works with has an injury, but she still has to work, and they won't cover it even though it's the company's fault. Yeah,
exactly.
There's little sprinkles of
Amazon.
doubt. Well, yep, you said it. There's also little sprinkles of motivation that would make you believe, oh, Teddy kidnapped this lady because she ruined his life. Her company ruined his life. And those little sprinkles of this is what's really going on, I thought were really well done in terms of like being like, oh, well, obviously he works for her. Her company's the reason his mom's in a coma. This is revenge. Like he has facaded his revenge into, oh, she's an alien, and I'm doing this for the greater of humanity. Because that's another thing is there's a lot of moments where he's talking to Dawn, where he's like, where Teddy's like, oh, like this is for the greater good, you know, this is stuff, and then Dawn would be like, oh, I'm sorry, Ted. He'd be like, don't ever apologize. There's a lot of like hints at emotional manipulation, which is definitely a theme in a lot of this. Yeah.
Well, and okay, so like really breaking down, like Teddy tells Don not to talk to Michelle Fuller. He actually calls her the Fuller specimen, right? Or like the Fuller, like the
Fuller humanoid.
The Fuller humanoid. He's constantly dehumanizing this character, which is something that people do when they want to justify the negative way that they're behaving, right? And he a lot of times when he's doing this, he's saying like, I'm a very humane person, like which is like, you're like, okay, this sounds like a little sinister. And then at the end of each interrogation, we see like a little crack in that humanity. We see a little crack in like who Teddy thinks he is as a person. But then in between each of them, we see why he is the way he is. You know, we get this we get a flashback of Teddy's mom talking about taking poison into her so that she can help him. And there's all these huge needles going into her body. And then we get like this, and that's Alicia Silverstone, by the way, who's phenomenal in this movie. And then we get the shot of her floating. Yeah. And you're like, wait, whoa, what? Is this like in his imagination? Is this a dream?
She beamed up?
What is this? And it's all black and white, too, which separates it even more from the movie that we're watching, right? And it makes you question a little bit. So, like, that was the first moment where I'm like, okay, are we like, and I love the way that Yorgos Lanthimos as a director plays with you as the audience, because he is playing a game. He's playing.
Oh, it felt like it.
What's the truth? Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, as each of these like parts unfold, like she says, "Oh, you're in an echo chamber," and he's like, "I'm not," and immediately I'm like, "Well, yeah, he is." And then you get that flashback, and you're like, "Okay, well, something happened with his mom." And then when it's revealed that, oh, it was her company's fault, that's when I was like, okay, so this could be I'm not set on anything, but this could be just he's disguised his revenge as the greater good for humanity. They're an alien ship, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about what's next? I got to go grab some water real fast.
Yeah, no problem.
While you discuss.
Yeah. So we get that first interrogation, ends with a slap. She looks very angry. And then we get another little aside in that when we're seeing Teddy's character go about the world, he does come across an officer played by Stavros Halkias. I forget the guy's name, but he, the officer is like, he kind of alludes to like he pulls him over while he's riding his bike and you're like, oh shit, they've abducted this woman. He's going to ask him about that. And then he's like, hey, how you doing? Just wanted to check in on you. I know it's kind of weird. Your old babysitter checking in on you. Which I immediately was just like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like this is weird. He plays Casey. So Casey is Teddy's old babysitter, and he alludes to having done something horrible to Teddy, and we never really get that. Like it does come back later, but it's never like explicitly mentioned, which I think was very smart. It's just kind of like he beats around the bush while admitting to like feeling bad about it multiple times in the movie. We move from the second interrogation the first interrogation where Emma Stone has done a very bad job recording her asking her mothership to beam them up or whatever. And we end with the slap. And then we get these little asides, and then we come into the second interrogation, which I think is like kind of the quintessential scene of the film, where all of a sudden there's this chair that's been revealed, and
this was insane, by the way.
This
scene made me uncomfortable.
And they hook, so Teddy and Don hook Emma Stone's hook Michelle up to a chair, and attach an electrode to her and put a handkerchief in her mouth, and they do shock therapy on her, or rather shock torture.
Yeah,
I should say.
It's torture.
It's torture. So they do shock torture. Fun little thing about this for anybody watching the film that might think that it's like violent and horrible, which it is, and inhumane, which is funny because Teddy's character is constantly like, "I'm very humane. I'm a humane."
He
person.
definitely plays that disguised role of, "I'm doing this because I'm a good person."
Yeah,
which automatically makes you go, "Oh, you're a terrible." Which there's a reveal coming where I was like, "Oh no, he's a fucking psychopath."
Yeah. So they start dialing up, and like right before they do it, and what I really like about this is Don is very clearly, of the main cast, the only sane person in the film.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's like the innocent one in a way.
Yeah, and he presents that sanity in the form of questions that he asks of Teddy, and in the way that he interacts with Michelle's character when she starts talking to him. He's very sane. At least in the beginning. And so we get the shock therapy scene. And what's crazy is you see the ampage going, or the wattage going up on, or no, voltage, sorry.
Voltage,
You see the voltage going up on this shock meter. And like, it's revealed that there's all these extra batteries. This is what they've been prepping for. They're trying to get like the answers out of her. And eventually, Don stops this portion of the interrogation. He unplugs it. He stops the whole thing before it can get overloaded, before she can die. He's like, "You're gonna kill her," and they take, and like Teddy goes, "No, you don't understand. It's never been that high. It's off the charts," and we get this really weird switch. And this is where like we go from like intense thriller style to comedy again.
That's where it switched for me. This is the moment.
Yeah, he's like, "I didn't realize we were in front of Andromedan royalty, Your Highness.
You're an emperor because of the
nobility." No, he just says nobility. He doesn't say emperor. He says nobility.
Well, he says he's the emperor's daughter or something.
Or whatever it is. He just says nobility.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's just alluding to the fact that she's high up. And that the voltage going through her body without her dying was the signifier for that. And you're like, "You're insane, dude."
Yeah, you're
like,
a psychopath.
Yeah. But then they bring her upstairs.
She gets to shower, and they give her a meal.
She gets a dress. And she sees Sandy G on the inside of the dress. There's a wig just in case she wanted to wear it. And we get this cute scene where he's like, he's like, Your Highness, I apologize if this is not up to your standards. This is my best version of giving the royal treatment. Fucking spaghetti and meatballs. And some wine. And like you almost get like this cute back and forth at dinner until eventually like we reach another, like what really happens that like triggers the tension in each of these conversation scenes is that we reach an impasse on which the two characters seem to disagree on what objective good is, what objective reality is. And in this, it's like Emma Stone's character is like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, well, the bees. And she's like, there's, and like,
I admire the resolve.
He's like, you can just say it. And yeah, she's like, I admire the resolve. And he's like, yeah, because they've been through tough times, right? Like you're saying they've been through, or whatever the term was that she used. But like, he's like, what are you talking about? Go ahead, say it. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, colony collapse disorder. And she what's really funny is you get this back and forth and she goes, well, yes, I mean, bees have endured CCD, which is hilarious because that is how a corporate political machine sterilizes a term. Like colony collapse disorder sounds horrible. CCD sounds benign. So she's like, well, yeah, they've been through CCD, but it's been shown that they're bouncing back, and like just really like you get this like back and forth of like ecology versus corporatism, and all of a sudden you're like, oh no, Teddy, I'm actually on your side on this one. Yeah, no, save the planet, man. But then he peaks with his anger yet again, and instead of a slap, we get a tackle.
Yeah.
And he tackles her over, and he's like choking her and about to lose it. And once again, like, she like just gets out by stabbing him with a fork, and then she gets knocked out because she had this violent altercation with Teddy by Don. And then brought downstairs, and then Stavros Halkias' character Casey shows up.
And then from there, I feel like this is the part where it gets really tense.
This is where we start ramping up. Yeah.
This is, to me, it dipped out of comedy for a second, and it really became nothing other than just like a tense what's going to happen. Because you have a cop upstairs. You have her downstairs with Dawn with a shotgun watching her. And the way all that unfolds where ultimately you learn a little bit more that Casey did some kind of power thing to Teddy when he was his babysitter. You don't really know what, but it was like a power trip, and he was a young kid, and he's very apologetic.
Sexually abused him,
for sure.
They're beating around the bush,
for
but
sure.
It's very obvious that's what he's apologizing for, is sexually abusing him as a kid.
Yeah. And so it all kind of comes to a head. You get like these really intense and wonderful conversations, but it all comes to a head when Teddy takes Casey out to see his bees.
Yeah.
And
do you want to see my bees?
During that, you have Michelle and Dawn downstairs talking, and
Dawn's on the stairs with a shotgun. Michelle is like trying to convince him.
Yeah, she's like, he's bringing you down into this pit, and you can see Dawn be like, yeah, you're right. And then you get this really wonderful moment where he's like, well, let's say you are an alien. She's like, come on, like, I'm not an alien. We've been past. And he's like, yeah, but if you are, will you take me with you on your ship? And you see her like think for a second, and she's like, yeah, Dawn, I will. And then he blows his brains out.
So I loved the 1-2 of this, and it wasn't telegraphed well, but I was like, sitting in the theater, I'm like, this might be where we're going, because like I love these films, but like I was like, okay, there's a couple places we could go with this. And as I'm watching the conversation unfold, like I said, I'm like eating this. I'm like, I'm not on the edge of my seat, but I'm definitely leaning forward and like looking and analyzing, and I'm hyper aware of like movement and things like that when these scenes are happening. And I love the moment where he goes, will you take me with you? Because he reveals his want. He's like, I actually don't think Earth has much for me. I don't feel like he's like, there's nothing here for me. All that's here for me is Teddy. And then she's like, yeah, I'll take you. And he goes, yeah, but Teddy too. And then you see her resistance come back. She's like, well, no, I can't do that. And you see him resolve that, like, if he's not going to get exactly what he wants and there's nothing left here for him, he kind of goes, oh yeah, there's not much left here for me. And earlier in the film, he had said, before he gets chemically castrated, I kind of wanted to be with somebody someday.
He also
and,
says...
So that's not even there. And,
Well, there's also a moment where he says he doesn't want to live on Earth. He's like, what's our life in space going to be like? And Teddy's like, well, we're only going to be in space for a couple hours, bud. Then we're coming back to Earth. And he's like, oh. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to shoot myself then. Now, once again, here's a really dark moment. He shoots himself. Emma Stone gets drenched in blood. Funny story to lighten the mood for anybody watching this that might be queasy around stuff like this. Aiden Dilbus said that when that scene happened, when they first had to throw the blood on her, he wasn't expecting it to be so fast or forceful, and he broke out laughing, not realizing they were actually filming. So if you can imagine when that scene happened, although we're getting music and tension and build up and all of this climax, and then just this insane sonic and visual display, imagine in the background that actor then going, just laughing at Emma Stone getting drenched.
Yeah.
And she even goes, she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
she
just visibly is.
Teddy hears this and
kills Casey with a
beats
shovel.
the shit out of Casey with a shovel. And then comes back into the house, and you get this standoff between, the two characters, because this is where the tension's been all along. It's been with Teddy's character, whose mother was injected with some weird shit that made her body float years ago.
Well, she was
and
an
Emma Stone's
opioid
character
addict, and the drug that Emma Stone's character company was supposed to help with the withdrawal symptoms and stuff.
Made
and
her
it backfired.
Yeah. And then you can see, so then we get this big standoff, and Emma Stone, for the first time, she goes, all right, you got me. I'm an alien. She's like, and I came down to Earth. She's like, we've actually been here for a long time. We came down, our emperor came down, our 75th emperor came down
that doesn't
here,
happen
and
yet.
there were dinosaurs. Oh, sorry.
Because what happened? So Jesse Plemons comes down. They have a
Yep.
conversation. She says that his mom was weak and they were part of trials. And then she
Oh,
says,
yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
a cure in the back of my vehicle and an antifreeze drug. It looks like
Yes.
antifreeze, but it's not. Go inject that into her, and it'll be the cure. He takes
Did you think it was antifreeze or the cure?
I thought it was antifreeze.
Same.
I
Okay.
thought it was.
I was
even though
I was like, that's not the fucking
so
cure.
I thought they did a really good job, and this might just be me, and I might not know enough about. Let me rephrase this. I don't know enough about cars to know if this is true or not, but antifreeze to me is usually yellowish, greenish, and this one was blue, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not antifreeze. It's antifreeze.
No, blue's very often a color for antifreeze.
Well, I'm colorblind, so I get a pass. But when he goes out to get the antifreeze and inject his mom, we cut back to her finding the secret room in the basement. Where,
yeah.
And this is the moment where I was like, oh my God, no, Teddy is just a fucking lunatic, psychopath, murderer, serial killer. Because in this room
Yep.
is
just human specimens that were not Andromedans.
body pieces.
Yeah, so he's cut up some. He's obviously done this before a couple times.
He's got pictures.
He had a couple Andromedan suspects who he has cut up and stored in jars. And it looks like a serial killer, conspiracy theorist playground.
Yeah,
but he has a model of the ship, and we were actually in this room previously without knowing it because he was showing Dom the ship earlier. He's like, I know enough to render this on my computer, and you're like, you're fucking nuts, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so this is actually where in my mind I'm like, oh, she might be an alien, and this is where we're going, because her character, when alone by herself in this setting, finds this room, does not freak out. Instead, the look on her face is not the terror of I'm going to be killed. It's surprise. And Emma Stone did a really good job being subtle with this. But as I was watching, because like I said, I'm leaning forward, eating this up. I'm like, oh, she might be an alien. And then he comes back and we get this. Well, okay. So then he goes and he injects the antifreeze into his mom's drip. She dies. And then he comes, he runs out the window, gets yelled at by a hospital nurse, or this hospice nurse or care facility.
And also, he's covered
attendant.
in blood, by the way.
Yeah.
Should mention that.
Oh, yeah. We get these two awesome scenes of Jesse Plemons in a beekeeper suit covered in blood, riding his bike like the fucking Wicked Witch in the Wizard of Oz. And he goes back to his house, and he's like, you killed her. And she's like, no, you killed her,
I thought you'd get
idiot.
arrested putting antifreeze into an IV, you crazy person. But, okay, here's the moment that I liked when he came back.
Okay.
She goes, how many of them were Andromedon? And he goes, 2. And that's the moment where I was like, okay, I no longer want to figure out if this is an alien or not, because at this point, I am convinced 100% it could go either way. It could be, this could be her acting like what he wants so she can get out of this, or she is an alien and this pissed her off and now she's like doing that. And I'm like, cool, whatever way this goes, I'm on board at this point.
Yeah. So we get a big back and forth, and she explains the 75th Emperor came down, saw the dinosaurs. They were majestic. They were wonderful.
Yeah.
But a virus killed them off, and so the Emperor, out of their kindness, wanted to seed the planet with life, and so humans were created, and based on Andromedan DNA, and Atlantis was there, and it was wonderful, but then they started these experiments to try to make stronger humans, and that just made
everything worse.
Like, everything worse, and they had nuclear war over it, and then there was a flood, and that there were a bunch of them that escaped on an ark, but like they eventually died off, and the only thing that were left were the apes that eventually turned into the humans that we know now, which is like, you're
crazy.
Like, holy shit, I can't believe you're just making that up,
Ah.
right? Like, but when she was saying this, I was like, okay, no, she is an alien, and here's the thing. This is from me, like, watching The Lobster, knowing how that ends, like going through these movies before. When she was saying that, I'm like, okay, no matter how this movie ends, in my mind, she's an alien. Even if it was left as a question, I would have come on this podcast and been like, no, she was an alien. But then we get like sort of a final like standoff kind of thing. Like she negotiates with Jesse Plemons, who has now Teddy. I keep like wanting to call
I keep
them
going
all
back
their
and forth
names.
too. It's
yeah. Who has like busted up her knee with a butt from the shotgun. He goes, "That's for Dawn." He takes her to her office. She says that the calculator has a 58-digit code, and that the closet is a teleporter to teleport him to a spaceship. Did you believe her?
No, I'll be honest.
Did not.
I was
did
like,
not.
because here's what I was at with that. She pulls she pulls it out of a box that just like is just stored like next to her desk, and I was like, well, this could very much be like from when she started her company, and it's like a keepsake, right? Like the first Macintosh computer for not Bill Gates, whatever, you know what I'm saying. And
she's
so
like, it had to look human.
And I was like, okay, so this could very much just be like a relic from her past, like that has sentimental value. I was like, if she is an alien, why would she need a teleporter? And I was like, and she at that point I was like, she might be, but like, why would it be this? And then it's revealed that Teddy also has fucking explosives strapped to him.
A bomb strapped to him.
He's got a bomb vest on.
Here's what I love about this scene is right before the big climax between these two characters, she says, "You are a credit to your species."
That was really smart of you to do that.
That was really smart of you. And I'm like, what the fuck is... And then he goes into the closet. She presses... Before she can press the enter key, he blows up.
No, she
in the
presses
closet.
it.
Oh, she does?
She hits it. So she goes, I'm going to count to 3, and she's like stepping away because he barricaded the door. And on 3, you see her hit it. He explodes, and his head hits her.
Flies out, knocks her out, hits her in the head.
So funny.
Which is insane.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And then we get a shot of her getting brought out in an ambulance. And then she gets up in the ambulance.
And she's like, he's dead.
And they're like, yeah, he passed away. They're like, you've been through a lot, though. And she just gets up, gets out of the ambulance, runs back to her fucking office. Yeah, hobbles back to her office, goes into the closet, and fucking teleports.
To the mothership that looks just like his model.
And we get the second reveal that she's actually the emperor of these
she's royalty.
Of the Andromedans. We get the Jesse Plemons was right the entire time.
And this is okay. So this is the part where I was like, and here's what this is kind of how I wanted to like summarize my overall feeling about this movie.
Yeah, hit it. You summarize? I'll be right back in a second. It's my turn.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I feel like everything leading up to this point of the reveal that she actually is an alien and Jesse Plemons was right all along, that doesn't take away from any of the messaging and themes. There's a big emphasis on like emotional abuse and like gaslighting to some extent with the way that Dawn's relationship is with Teddy. It paints a lot of the conversations that Michelle has, as Teddy is mentally ill and he's in this echo chamber. And I think all those themes and messaging can still be there and still do the job that they need to, and like they can still be told in the way that they were, even with the reveal that Teddy was right the entire time. Because I feel like you can look at it two different ways. You can either go, oh, so like he was right all along and it completely negates everything that she said, and it means that everything that happened, he was right, and that means that like in a way people like that in real life would be considered quote unquote right. Or you can look at it in the way of just a movie where, yeah, like all that stuff happened and those messages are still important and they still play a part, but you can still have the funny, bizarre ending without it stepping on those messages. I was just saying how the messages can still be there even with the bizarre ending. You can take them for what they were and like still pull out the themes, or you can be like, oh, well, like Jesse was right all along, so none of that matters, and you get this bizarre ending. You can enjoy this movie either way, taking the themes and messaging out of it or not. Either way, I still think it works really well as a movie.
100% agree. My favorite part about all of this is it shows at the very end, Emma Stone's character approaches a flat Earth. A flat Earth. This is like they could have had any shape for the fucking map, and they do kind of like reveal it throughout the like, because they're showing like 3 days before, 2 days before, 1 day before the lunar eclipse, and on the 1 day before, when I looked at it, I'm like, is that a fucking flat Earth, you fucks? Like, are you seriously doing this right now? Because this is about conspiracy theories. But you see her character actually go look at a flat Earth, pop a bubble over it, and then we get this beautiful serenade of Where Have All the Flowers Gone by originally a Pete Seeger song. And just humans dead everywhere. Like, just everybody died instantaneously. It's done. Like, and I absolutely love that shot. Like, all of those shots, like that to me, like what a great use of practical footage at the very end of this film is just dead humans everywhere. And like we even get a shot of the packaging facility that Teddy worked in.
Oh yeah.
With like a package just on the roller still running. Like all machines are still going. Like people died in the middle of surgery. Like it doesn't matter. Like everything just stopped. What I really liked about that is it just shows how level the playing field is for a species. Like we could all die out. We could. And it could be because of our own stupidity, like Emma Stone's character was saying. Like, we could just be marching toward our own end. That very well might be what we're doing. And maybe there is a more intelligent life form out there that, like, knows that about us, Yeah. Like, I kind of loved that. Like, obviously, I don't think that's the truth of the matter, but I think the artistic expression thereof, it allows you to ask some really poignant questions about yourself, about society, about civilization, about humans as a species in general, and just about what life really means to us,
Oh, absolutely. And one thing I will say is I think this ending is goofy, and I think it's bizarre, and not in a bad way by any stretch, but I do think like even the outfits they wear, and when she gets back with her people, they're like, we couldn't contact you because where was your hair? Like, what happened to your hair? We can't contact you. And I was like,
exactly.
Okay. Like, this is silly. And I've seen some people recently compare it to the ending of Weapons. And spoiler alert for that movie ends with a bunch of kids ripping a lady apart, and it's very silly. It's very funny. It's very dark humor, and I love it. And people have said, oh, well, that ruins the movie because the ending is so out there. And it's like, well, I mean, same with Weapons in Bugonia. If you really look at the layers of this movie, it was never not this. It's just it hides it and disguises it at points really well, where if you're like me and you were just enjoying the thriller, the drama, the mystery of it, you didn't really see those humor moments like you saw, Kevin. So, like, I think, because I recently rewatched Weapons, and there's more parts in that movie where I'm like, no, this is kind of funny. Like, there are some of that stuff. So, like, I think for me, if this ending was different, I wouldn't enjoy this movie as much. If it was revealed that she went to the hospital and like it did like one of those wrap ups where it's like she's back at work and she's got some like PTSD and stuff like that, I'd be like, okay, kind of like I'm like, well, now is she an alien? Isn't she an alien? Like there's some things that say she is, some things that say she isn't, and you can keep it open-ended, and that's fine. Movies work that way. But I like when the movie goes, no, it's not open-ending. Here's not what you expected or what you did expect.
Now, here's a funny thing about Yorgos Lanthimos that, and Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone have talked about this in interviews, is that Yorgos does think that all of his films are a comedy, like which I love, like because they are like there's so many messages and themes, and everything is kind of a caricature and dialed up to 11 in a lot of them, especially his most famous films like Poor Things, The Lobster, things like that. To me, yeah, of course. And that's even more obvious the more I see films by Yorgos Lanthimos. Like, I'm just like, oh, yeah, no, these are comedies. All of them are comedies. And so that's why in watching this and being someone who really enjoys his films, I'm in the theater laughing when other people aren't. Like, I didn't even feel awkward about it. I'm like, no, this is funny. Like, it doesn't matter that people are being hurt or that extreme violence is happening in almost every corner of this film. It's funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I thought it was a really great film. I'm glad it's certified greatness this year. It will probably make my top 5. My top 5 is looking weird this year, right? Like I've got Wes Anderson.
What are you feeling in your top 5? The Phoenician Scheme?
Phoenician Scheme for sure. Like that's in the top 5.
Okay.
I've had such a great time watching that film. Weapons is probably up there.
Yep.
And this, I don't know. Like we make it hard on ourselves though too, so we have to go through and we have to do. Not only it's top 5 movies and TV. So
I am doing
that's going to be the toughest part.
I've seen too many movies this year, and I don't care. I'm doing a top 10 of movies because at this rate, I've seen too many to do a top 5. I need to do a top 10.
You can do a top 10. Those other 5 have to be honorable mention. It's a challenge. We got to make it hard.
I'm doing it in order of 10 to 1, Kevin.
No. I'm not. No, I don't accept it. I'm going to beep out.
10% of the movies I've seen this year. That doesn't. No.
I'm going to beep out the rest of them.
I've seen so many movies that you have this year, though.
Let's just link your top. We'll put your top 10 in the description. But it's top 5 movies and TV.
I'm doing top 10 movies. I'm not even touching TV because I didn't watch it.
You're not even touching TV?
I didn't watch anything this year that was really that new.
But my jam is TV this week.
Well, your jam is It Welcome to Derry. Talk about it.
It is It Welcome to Derry. It's phenomenal. You have to watch it.
I'm waiting for my partner.
Like I said, it is somehow the best adaptation of Stephen King without being from source material.
Well,
like it's so fucking good.
In 2 weeks, we'll find out if The Running Man is.
I'm sure there will be some. Well, that's Richard Bachman, not Stephen King.
Oh my god. You're correct. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. But there's so like this fucking show is so good. I did not know what to expect going in, and I think that was good. I didn't have any expectations going in, and I think that was good. It is gory, and it's all about the psychological thrill.
Nice.
And it expands on the lore in a very interesting way, and it brings in adults and kids at the same time rather than breaking up the timeline. And the end of the first episode subverted my expectations, and we talk about this a lot. If something is well written and you predict what happens, you feel rewarded for that. If something is well written and you don't predict what happens and are surprised, you feel rewarded for that. This, I did not see how the first episode was going to end, and when it did, I was like, holy fuck, that was amazing. And then the second episode picked up, and I'm like, all right, let's see if it's really good. And the moments of horror in it are really great, and the moments of intrigue in it are really great. And really, that's what's at the heart of it. Is it's a horror / small town mystery thriller, and I love I cannot say enough about it. I have one other jam that I want to bring up, and I'm bringing it up on my phone right now.
And while you do that, I will say
music.
I like the first It movie and the second It movie. The first one I saw like 5 times in theaters. I just thought it was it wasn't even that scary to me. It was just really good fucking movie. And the series brought back the Muschettis, Andy and Barbara, to work on It Welcome to Derry. And I think that's really cool because, like you mentioned, there is no like source material for this. There's just mention in the It books, of what happened back in like the 50s and the 60s or whatever. So I'm super excited to watch this. We'll do a recap of it when it ends probably. What do you think? We'll talk about the whole series.
We 100% should. All right, so my other jams this week, I got 2 music jams. Aviana, the metal band, has released the new album Void. It's phenomenal. And then also Unprocessed has released their second concept album, a counterpiece to And Everything in Between, which was an album that was kind of about like hell and Dante's Inferno and Limbo and a lot of other things. This one is just called Angel, and it starts with the track 111, which obviously I'm sure everybody knows some manic pixie girl incarnate who's obsessed with angel numbers and the zodiac and all this other bullshit, numerology and whatever. But I would highly recommend that anybody who is intrigued by that, check out Beyond Heaven's Gate, which is a phenomenal track and kind of showcases what makes Unprocessed and Manuel Gardner Fernandez a phenomenal artistic force.
Love that.
Thank you. What's your jam?
Okay, so I did something interesting. It's just been me and Max this week as my partners at a wedding. So I took this opportunity to watch movies on my big screen without having to worry about anybody else not liking or not wanting to watch those. So I did over the course of the week, I watched 4 King Kong movies. I watched the original 1933, which is phenomenal, just absolutely incredible. I love that movie.
You watched 4 King Kong movies and watched 3 films in theater this week?
Yeah, I didn't get a lot of
sleep
this week.
You're a maniac.
I didn't get a lot of sleep this week.
You're a maniac, dude.
Yeah, I did. I saw the 1933 one. Then I saw the Jeff Bridges remake, which, oh my God, is so fucking bad. It's awful. I can't believe they even attempted to make that. Then I watched the Peter Jackson one. That one took me a couple times. Okay. It's fine. I remember liking it a lot more as a kid. I will admit, I forgot that the beginning is like an hour and a half before they even get to the island. So about 30 minutes in, I fast forwarded to the island. I was like, I'm not waiting. And then I watched.
I don't need to see these characters establish themselves.
Yeah, I'm good. I know the story of King Kong. And then I watched Kong Skull Island, which I think is a really fun interpretation of King Kong. I do hope at some point in the future we get another real adaptation of the story of King Kong about going to the island and making it more that way. We're still doing Kong versus Godzilla, so probably not.
Whatever.
But because we got Godzilla Year -1, which I feel like is a really good way to take Godzilla back to the roots. I would like to see something like that for King Kong, where he's a villain and not a giant ape who swings a hammer and an axe and teams up with Godzilla.
You want him to be a misunderstood monster.
Exactly. So I did that on top of seeing...
Bring back the misunderstood monsters, baby.
On top of seeing Violent Ends on Monday, and then I saw The Wrecker on Thursday, and then I saw Bugonia Friday? No, I saw both those yesterday.
I don't know.
I saw some movies this week. And
we got Predator Badlands next week, right?
Oh, my God.
Is that next week?
Yes, dude.
All right, cool.
I'm
excited.
I think Predator Badlands, I'm going to say this here, and maybe my expectations are too high. Mm-hmm. There is a chance that this movie, on top of all the art house and dramas and things I've loved, this movie might make my top 5. I am a sucker for Predator movies, and I am a sucker for a Predator movie that's just nonstop action. I can't fucking wait. This is so much more interesting to me. The Predator fighting creatures on a planet and not just going after humans with guns is so fucking cool to me. I can't wait.
Yeah. I like where it's going. I don't know if you've seen the 30-second teaser trailer that is mostly Elle Fanning talking about how
stopped
they
watching
are hunting
anything
the Predator.
about the Badlands.
Right.
I want to be surprised.
All right, I'm not gonna say it then.
Yeah, please don't.
Because I saw it this morning. It played right after I watched the trailer for Scream 7. It was just like, hey, here's this, and I was like, huh, okay,
interesting.
Oh, I think that's next week.
I can't wait.
Frankenstein finally came out in theaters this week. Which
it came out
made
barely.
me mad because it was supposed to be out in fucking the middle of October, and then it came out this week, and I'm like, well, I can't this week
at
because
limited
I've got
theaters.
Dracula and Romeo and Juliet. Maybe I've seen too much, or maybe I've done too much theater this year and just been too much in like the art space. But I really do feel like all my favorites this year are going to be like very artsy fartsy art.
Oh, I agree.
Hipster.
I think so. That's what I'm saying. Like Badlands might be the only like, I don't know what you'd even classify that as, like a roller coaster if you want to go Scorsese, like how he talks about Marvel movies. Like it might be the only one, because right now my top 5 is
Badlands is a proper sci-fi action. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a proper sci-fi action film. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a Marvel movie at all. I think it's it's a sci-fi action film within the
well, no, I meant not like
Predator.
a Marvel, but Martin Scorsese described Marvel films as a roller coaster, and I think
I don't
Badlands.
think it's going to be like that.
I think Badlands is going to be like a sci-fi roller coaster to some extent.
Yeah, I also think it's just going to be a good action sci-fi. Which I think when Martin Scorsese calls Marvel films a roller coaster, I think what he's calling, he's saying that they're an attraction, not anything of artistic substance at all.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
And I think
Badlands
this will have that. Yeah.
All right.
And I kind of agree with Scorsese on that. To
some of the Marvel films are, but some of them are pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's all we got this week, Odie. You got anything else?
Plenty.
That's great. It's so much. I would like to apologize to anybody who's made it this far for me absolutely losing my shit on the news, but sometimes it's tough, baby. Sometimes I can't not lose my shit on the world for being like fucked up, increasingly corporatized global capitalist hegemony. And now I sound like a conspiracy theorist.
Take us out, Kevin.
But thank you for weathering this absurd existence with us. Thank you for delving further into the panopticon of modern society. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about our mental health subpoenas, or would like us to comment, podcast live at your funeral, email mysecretpoweris@gmail.com. Art by FrankAce. Music by moi. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.